Your other idea was better. The custom made the Zuby with you cards with nude art of the three of us. That was a much better idea. I wonder if they still run Windows 3.1.
Let's go. Gonna be a long podcast. Let's go.
Whoa. Welcome to May the Zoo Be With You, America's most favorite monster truck and MTG podcast. I am, of course, joined by the man with the facial hair, the man with the beard, the man with the stash, Steel Reserve himself, Josh.
Your fixation on my facial hair is so weird.
You can tell this one's not scripted. He didn't try hard enough this week.
I don't know him. What do you want? And the man who
you don't know me now?
Well, I don't know, what you want me to say.
You were at my daughter's first birthday party.
I am her godparent and her grandparent. I am also joined by the man whose mechanic tried to kill him today, Louis DeGeorge.
No, mechanic tried to kill my wife today. Real story. True story, everybody. She's fine.
Do you think it was like a case of mistaken identity? He was trying to get your stash of alpha of sorcery, and it was a mistaken identity.
That's fine. Anyway, everything's good. We're good.
That's fine. I can't open any more boxes, please. I can't just look into the camera and open boxes anymore.
We're joined by. That's a flowery shirt today. Are your shirts usually that flowery?
No, this is an extra flowery shirt, I would say.
This is a rare one, yeah.
Must be his Tuesday shirt. We're recording a day early. His shirts get less flowery throughout the week.
By Sunday, they're just black Hawaiian shirts.
Those are Tommy Bahamas? Shirts. Tommy Bahamas are black, stylish, but kind of Hawaiian shirts, right?
I have 2 Tommy Bahamas. I paid for none of them because they are outrageously expensive. I did not steal them. They were gifts.
All right, welcome to a very long podcast, everybody. Today we have a lot of Magic the Gathering things to chat about. Thank you for being here, for watching, listening. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, comment along in the comment section. Go subscribe to Josh's channel, Hometown TCG.
No, don't subscribe. Become a member.
This is what we're chatting about.
I think you have to do both. I don't think you can become a member without subscribing. I don't know. That'd be weird.
Be a patron to me. Okay, here we go. We're talking about Marvel the Gathering today. That's going to be fun. We're going to talk about Magic's Apocalypse. Spoiler alert, that's not Marvel the Gathering. We're going to talk about Lost. What is that? Fun alert? I love it. George, you missed it. Josh,
no, keep going. Listen, I'm just trying to inform the viewers. Keep going.
We're going to talk about PSA's grading report. They put out a release with their grades. Kind of interesting. We're going to talk about Sorcery's big art reveal. And you're going to listen to us rate the artwork on Sorcery's art reveal.
This is going to be riveting content, especially for those of you who listen on Spotify.
Listen, those of you who actually...
This will be riveting content for those of you who just follow along audio. You're welcome.
Those of you who also care about the artwork probably don't want to listen to us talk about the artwork.
Not true.
George has art. Look, he's got art.
I got art. I got 7. I've invested in an art startup. I have 8 pieces of art I'm looking at right now.
We're going to talk about Lorcana Million. Do you like that, George? Yeah. You didn't hear that one. That's pretty good. Lorcana Million.
It's all right. It's all right.
And we're also going to talk about how I was right and George is wrong later at the end of the podcast. So there's no fun to that one. It was just a true
There you go. There you go. Wait, can the viewers see the FUD alert or can we only see the FUD alert?
No, the viewers got it. It's there.
How do I put the Louisa Bozo alert? Can I also add this or how do I do this?
You don't have the
You have to have used a computer before. You might struggle a bit.
I learned how to link a Twitter account today.
Ooh, I think it's called X now.
20 minutes ago when I asked you to share that.
I didn't know you could just send a tweet. I thought you had to send the profile.
All right, let's chat. Marvel the Gathering. Did anybody anticipate that this week we would be talking about a Universes Beyond set in 2025?
Oh, that's the least surprising part.
Yeah, that's not surprising at all.
I'm surprised it's not 2030. Where's the FUD alert? Come on. My goal now is to see as much as possible today.
All right.
Don't worry, Lou, you'll talk.
Marvel the Gathering. I've been very positive on.
Can I recommend a different name for this?
Yes.
Can we call it Lorcana's Leftovers? So, Louis, can I ask you a quick question before we get into this topic?
Yes.
I know that Sorcery, your favorite game this week, has a set coming out called Arthurian Legends.
Yes.
do you think that this was WotC being terrified that Arthurian Legends would come out leaning on Disney IP of Sword in the Stone? And that, like, WotC was like, I'm terrified of Sorcery. Got to get ahead of the Disney IP bandwagon.
No.
Marvel it up. Where's Ant-Man? Beam me up, Scotty. Like, do you think that's what? Like, do you think that was like the communication in WotC headquarters?
Yeah, I think that's what it is. I think that's why they got Marvel. That's why they went to Marvel, as they were like, like Sorcery's coming out. All these indie TCGs have like 12,000 players. We've gotta go after it.
Gotta get that. Gotta get
Rudy's,
ahead of
Rudy's making videos that get 15,000 views. They're like,
gotta get that.
Hey, let's. I'm not one to scoff at 15,000.
Oh, I killed for 15,000 views.
That's like the Super Bowl for me. Okay,
very clear.
But that is my favorite take. My favorite take is that anytime WotC does anything, it's like they're feeling the pressure. Those 200 boxes that game sold, they're feeling it. WotC's going down.
They're feeling it. That's 200 boxes that they could have sold.
That's like, yeah.
So
but they still did.
Let's give the people what they need. We have a Marvel Magic the Gathering release that is a tentpole set coming in 2025 with.
They've got to find better words than tentpole. They've got to find.
Listen.
They've got to find better words than that.
No, that was the perfect word because this announcement made a lot of us tentpole content creators. Okay, this is going to be hype.
Well, I don't have to worry about the intro next week.
Yeah, this is going to be wild.
Josh's tentpole will be prominently.
Imagine saying that into a microphone and then laughing about it.
Listen, man. Listen, this is going to be awesome.
All right, Louis, continue with your tentpole. Then we'll get to Josh's tentpole.
The only thing I can think about is what's happening in Josh's pants.
Listen, I'm not wrong.
Okay,
what are you drinking tonight, by the way? You're drinking two things.
All right.
Yeah, this is to keep you awake because you guys are boring until we get to the fun stuff. And this is because this week is a celebration.
All right. So, number one, tentpole set. So we're talking about Lord of the Rings style set, not Doctor Who. Get it out so we can keep going.
Continue with the tentpole set. We got to go.
And then they said they're going to continue to have releases, additional releases, more releases in the future. So this is a long-standing relationship that's happening here. And
would you say it's multiple tentpoles?
No, you're pushing it now. No, that's not funny.
That's not true. That's not true.
So let's talk. What are your guys' initial thoughts?
How is this bad? In the world we live in right now, where Universes Beyond is and will be something that exists, this is incredible. I didn't think it was going to get bigger than Lord of the Rings. This is going to be bigger than Lord of the Rings, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, people who don't know, everybody knows what Marvel is. Everybody knows the Avengers. Every person ever.
Disney is goat. Disney is goat. Continue.
Listen, it's going to bring in younger people. So there's just nothing bad about this. I don't know. There's nothing bad.
The infants, they're going to come in and play Commander. The 4-year-olds are going to be playing Spider-Man.
George, you idiot. That's not the best way to learn. Never mind.
The timing of it is also very, very good. They have Marvel has a new Captain America movie coming out in the later half of 2014. So like that always brings a lot more excitement to. Why are you giving me that look?
The later half of 2024?
Sorry, 2024. My bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, you're bad at this.
Dude, earlier today I thought it was November. It's been a day. My wife almost died today, everybody. Give me a break. Give me a break. Everyone, my wife didn't almost die today. She just almost got in a car accident.
Yeah, I bet things you regret saying into a microphone. You want to start making your own list?
So then in the early part of 2025, they have a new Fantastic Four movie coming out. So there is like this set is going to come out right in the middle of two massive Marvel movies. And I know Marvel's been like on the decline a little bit this past like year and a half, 2 years pandemic. But I think that
they started to decline after the pandemic, and you're like, pandemic.
Did you just throw? Because I do that in my content sometimes. Pandemic, crypto, NFT.
Yada yada.
You can blame anything on the pandemic.
Yada yada. Yeah, dude, I get it. I love that.
Yada yada. The best part.
Like we wouldn't have Marvel the Gathering if the pandemic didn't happen. But this is Magic figuring out how to survive their what happened in the pandemic.
I wonder if that's true.
Don't anybody quote me on that. That was not my thoughts. So I think the timeline of this is really, really strong for Magic. I don't know if they planned that. I don't know if they thought that through, but the timeline seems really good.
I mean, like, listen, there's some pretty high potential for some pretty serious cards in this. Like, I don't know what a 1/1 Spider-Man goes for.
Do you think they do this? Do you think they do 1/1? We keep
If not,
saying
they should be-
they're going to do 1/1s in all
There's
these IPs.
not a chance that they don't. Like,
Really?
yeah.
Like, if there's not a 1/1, they should be ashamed of themselves.
So what would the 1/1s be? The Gauntlet?
Spider-Man. Wait, Gauntlet? What?
The Gauntlet. The
Infinity
Thanos.
Gauntlet could be a 1/1. Each of the Infinity Stones could have a 1/1. All of the Avengers and Thanos themselves could have a 1/1.
No.
Captain America's
too many
shield.
Don't
This is
listen to
Mjolnir.
him. See, he's bad for you.
This
Don't
is
listen
too
to
many
him.
1/1s.
Chris,
No, but
don't
I'm saying
listen to
these
him.
are. There's so many options. They don't
Right,
have
but
to do
isn't-
all.
that's
But
my
Oh my
point.
god!
Hold on,
Oh my
that's my
god!
point.
Shut up! What they could do is they could put Infinity Stones on the land, and if you have they can put like, let's say 10 of each one in a rare variant, and if you mail them all in, you get a 1/1.
I
You
thought
collected them all.
I thought you were going to say if you got them all in the field, you win the game. Then I was going to be that's called a gate. That's called Gates Tribal, George.
It could be both.
That was a deck for a while.
It could be both.
Magic thing.
Can you imagine? They're like, you got to collect all the Infinity Stones, do a redemption program, and you
but-
get a card.
But Josh, like you can have all those 1/1s, right?
That is
isn't
free
the-
for cock.
Isn't the point that you can have all those 1/1s, but if you look at Lord of the Rings, there was only one thing you could say would have been the 1/1, the one
Sure.
ring. It fits the one theme.
I think it's got to be like Spider-Man.
I kind of feel like you're not going to see 1/1s. That's what I think. I don't think we're going to ever see a 1/1. I know I was on the opposite side of this on the release, but now that we haven't seen a 1/1 in Fallout, we haven't seen a 1/1 in Doctor Who. We
None
haven't
of those
seen.
are tent poles.
That's fair. I just think that I don't think they see the individual things within the Marvel universe
I mean, I don't know.
as special as the One Ring
I-
was.
So
I'll be surprised if we see a Final Fantasy 1/1 because I don't think the theme fits with a
Mhm.
1/1. Like I think there's too many 1/1 potentialities for Final Fantasy. Like maybe Cloud, maybe Sephiroth, maybe I don't know some of the other heroes from like 3 or whatever. But like I'll be floored if we don't see a 1/1 Spider-Man.
So,
like
I
that is like
I
it
don't
seems
see it
too
the same
perfect.
way. I don't see it them doing the 1/1 of an actual character because then
I
like
agree.
you either have to do every character, or you have to pick one of each of the characters. I could see though. I mean, if they go back to the you said Louis, Avengers and Marvel's kind of been a little bit on the downcline in the last year. If they go back to like the pinnacle of the hype, where they do like Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame and stuff, you could 100% convince me of a world with the 1/1 Infinity Stones, the 5 of them,
That's
and there's
cool.
one of each of them.
Yeah,
Because
one makes
that's the
total
lore,
sense.
right? There is one of each of them.
They have the most valuable gems in all of TCGs. It'll be amazing.
That's like, you know what? What you're talking about is the Power 9 of Magic the Gathering.
I'm in the Power 5. Let's go.
Why would anyone want a Mox when you can have a Soul Stone?
Why would you want to Mox Diamond? Or Mox, not Diamond, sorry. Why would you want to Mox Jet when you can have a 1/1? What would that be worth though? Like the 1/1 ring.
I think it's going to be Spider-Man.
It's not going to be. I don't know.
I don't think it's going to be a character.
I think it's going to be Spider-Man.
I think they could have serialized versions of the characters. That makes sense to me, but I don't think that'll be the 1/1.
Yeah, not 1/1. They would have 1 of 500 of each character.
Yeah.
I think it'll be multiple. I think it's 1 of 500, 1 of
Yeah.
300, 1 of 1. I think it'll be 1 of Spider-Man.
Okay.
Yep.
Like, and like listen, like I think this is like this is a big win for WotC. I will say it's wild because I got an email today from Distro that they're like, there's also now some new Star Wars game, not Fantasy Flight, but released by Asmodee that's coming out.
Really?
Like,
That's the Fantasy Flight one.
No, I don't think it's Asmodee, isn't it?
It is. It's
Oh,
Star
it's the same
Wars.
one.
It's. I think Asmodee is the.
Well, now Southern has it too. Apparently, they announced it publicly today, so you can share it.
Gotcha.
Like, part of me is like, geez, Disney, I'm on team. Get that cheddar as a proud shareholder. But like, man, let's. Do we need to be in every TCG? like
just the ones that matter, dude.
hey man, yes, Lorcana,
like-
I got your back, Josh.
So Star Wars, what is it? Star Wars what's the name of it? Josh?
Unlimited.
Unlimited. Star
Was
Wars
that the-
Unlimited is not that's its own game though. So it's not being licensed by another thing. I listen. They asked for like who's interested in this at distro, and I was like, I mean, I'm gonna take some, but I'm not ordering a lot
I'm
of
taking
it.
a case. I'm taking a case.
Like,
I'll help you out, distro. I got your back.
I might do a video on why I'm not doing it, but this is neither here nor there. So we're gonna have a world where you're playing.
Here we go.
You're playing
I'm in.
Iron Man versus Frodo versus whatever Fallout character name guy is, Vault Boy versus Nicole Bolas. What does this do to Magic's IP long term? It doesn't matter.
I think it. Like, listen. I think this is all right. All right. Keep the FUD up. Keep the FUD alert up, Josh. You're gonna want it for this take. So like, here's what it tells you. WotC knows they need real help to like move a lot of boxes. This is not a big deal for Disney. Disney, I'm sure is thrilled to have the extra revenue. I'm sure they're very appreciative of the money. I'm sure they're appreciative of the exposure. But at the end of the day, this is a huge deal for WotC and not a big deal for Disney. And it's because way more people are interested in Disney IP than Magic the Gathering the game. This isn't that hard.
Well, yeah, Disney goes wider than Magic. Yeah, Disney goes wider than Magic the Gathering. That's coldest take ever.
Well, Marvel, period, goes wider than Magic the Gathering.
I mean, like,
Star Wars goes wider than Magic the Gathering.
100%.
WotC kind of waving the white flag and saying, like, listen, like, in order to keep people interested in the TCG space, we have to go get IPs. Like, this costs them money.
I just realized my favorite part of this whole thing. This opens the door to Star Wars Universes Beyond that we said was closed because of Lorcana. Yeah. And like, listen, I've been slowly changing my tune on Universes Beyond. The Star Wars, I already have in my shop a draft cube that is Star Wars The Gathering. That's a fan-made set that is like a draftable fan-made Star Wars set. And it is a blast and everybody loves it. I will be
your homemade
It's not homemade.
Cards.
It's not homemade. It's like
you have it with printed. Crayons.
No, you have
your daughter drawn them.
Paid $100 to have it like printed on actual cardboard cardstock. It's a full.
Doesn't mean you didn't draw them. It means it's on cardboard cardstock.
No, I didn't. Like, it's a full-fledged thing with artwork and mechanics, and like, it's awesome. It's super cool, and people love it. And like, I
just imagine Louis with his crayons out, the 64 pack with a little sharpener on the side. He's just going to town.
Louis, I got my goddaughter and granddaughter a Bucky's coloring book. Want me to get you one as well?
We're going back to does that mean I'm trying to put the math on that on which one of Josh's family members you
Yes.
Yeah.
George is only a grandfather in the sense that we don't know what else to tell Cam to call him because he's so old. Like, she doesn't know anybody else that old that's
like
not related to her, because otherwise it's just creepy. So
the guy near death.
The best part is he's not that old. He just looks old.
Yeah, that is the best part.
It's because of his facial hair
and the angle of his camera.
Yeah, your camera angle is just outrageous.
It's on my computer. It's on my computer.
When you meet George in real life, you're like, oh my gosh, you look 20 years younger than you look in the podcast.
Not the first thought that went through my mind.
And you look 50 pounds lighter.
Yes.
That's fair.
It's a very unflattering angle.
So what does
it's my computer?
So Josh, do you agree or disagree with George about what it does to Magic's IP? That this is them cashing out of their IP?
No, I don't agree that it's them cashing out. I see it's a continued segregation of the product lines. Like I talked about, God, what was that? A month and a half, like 2 months ago, that we're going to see Universes Beyond be twofold. That's how they're going to cater to Commander players. In perpetuity, the main way to cater to Commander players going forward is going to be Universes Beyond. We're seeing a shift there. And your Magic IP, standard release sets that cater directly to Modern, things like that, are going to be for entrenched Magic fans.
But that's
it's going to be for
Lord of the Rings went to Modern, and assumingly this will also go to Modern.
It's a path. It's going to take time, right? It's going to take time to happen. So I think that's what we're going to see in the future. The other thing that I think we're going to see is Wizard of the Coast committing to bringing new people in. That's what this does. This doesn't kill their IP. This is them acknowledging in 2023, trading card games are tough. TCGs are hard, especially to get somebody new to play a trading card game, to convince them to do that. It's not easy. Video games are so much easier. This is them saying, we're committing to growing the trading card game community, and no other TCG is doing that. No other TCG cares about trying to bring new people in masse. No other trading card game does.
They're just trying to take people away from Magic.
They're just chugging along, trying to pull people from other communities. Nobody else is doing the same.
Where's that funnel alert button? I need one.
There's not a single other TCG that's saying, hey, you've never played a trading card game before? Guess what?
Lorcana.
Come on over here. Yeah, but that's in 5 years.
Yeah, but they don't count.
Hold on.
Who knows if it's still there? And you can't buy a box right now anyway, so how are new people?
You can't buy a box of this either for 2 years.
You can buy a box of Lord of the Rings right now. Right now.
You can go to GameGrove.gg to buy that box.
GameGrove.
I fully agree. Josh, I fully agree with what you're saying, but I think what you are saying is also incredibly unfair to the indie TCG company that Disney doesn't even know exists. Like, you're like, that indie TCG is not making Marvel stuff. Screw them. They suck. Like, I don't know.
Listen, I'm not saying it's fair. It's tough travels, dude. I'm not saying it's fair, but that's the way it is.
Wow.
Sorry.
You drank that energy drink. That's that purple energy drink.
Oh, I'm sorry.
In the songs.
We brought a little positivity to the podcast. I forgot how much that was
positivity, brother. That ain't positivity.
I agree with what you're saying. I think it is really interesting to see how many people come into the TCG ecosystem as a result of Universes Beyond.
TCGs as a whole, who has done more than Magic in the last year? And who do you predict will do more in the next 3 years, the next 5 years?
It's the only one that has players right now. Of course, it's not important. Like, congratulations.
Pokemon's number 2. What's Pokemon doing to bring in people who have never played a trading card game?
Than anybody has ever printed in the history of the world.
That's true.
And it's not working.
Also, Pokemon,
how many do you have in your stock room?
Pokemon brings people into the TCG world. They're not going to bring people into playing TCGs though. Like, very few. But Pokemon makes things wider. At least, like, more people who don't play TCGs come into my store to buy Pokemon.
Not anymore. Not once the Marvel set releases. Pokemon doesn't go a lot wider than that, baby.
That might be true. But I agree with what you're saying. Like, they are growing the trading card world. I think, like I said this on my video today, this as a store owner and somebody who likes money, this announcement was like, oh, this is the easiest money I'll ever make. Like, this will make my store grow in incredible ways. It'll open up the door. Even when they put it on Amazon for distro costs or $2 below distro costs, it'll still allow my store to grow. And this is great. Like, this is a big win. From a player and Magic the Gathering lover, I hate it so much.
Get over it. I'm over it. You have had a year.
I told you.
You haven't. You haven't. If you have to say that sentence, you haven't.
No, I'm a content creator. I have to make content. So,
Louis, can I ask you this question?
Yes.
This just seems like objectively better than like Doctor Who. Am I wrong about that?
100%. I agree.
Yeah.
Listen.
So, but this is my second point, and this is why I can swallow the pill now, because I thought about it this way: if I asked my wife to play Magic the Gathering, and I'm like, hey, I'm not gonna say my wife's name. She's been
on the channel.
I'm glad
she's done box openings on the channel.
If I'm like, hey, Dana, I'm glad you survived that terrible potential car crash you were almost in today. Would you like to sit down and play a game with Liliana of the Veil and Jace the Mind Sculptor? Magic the Gathering is amazing. She'd be like, what the heck are you? No, I want to not do that. If I was like, hey, do you want to play a game that has the Avengers in it? She might be like, yeah, like, I'm interested in that. She'll be really interested when it's Harry Potter. I'm sure that one's coming. She'll be really interested.
No, they canceled it.
You didn't give her a box of Strixhaven?
I'm saying
we already got that. That was Harry Potter without it being Harry Potter.
That was supposed to be.
That was just Harry Potter without it being Harry Potter.
It was. They made a whole Harry Potter set, and then they used ChatGPT to make it a Magic set. That's exactly.
Wasn't there like some controversy with the creator around that time? Maybe they were like,
yes, yep, I'm not getting into that.
Pull back. Yeah, pull back.
Yeah.
Was it bad? I don't know what it was. I don't know what it was.
Why aren't we talking about that?
We're not.
I don't know what it was. Sorry,
I
I'm
don't
not
know what you're
informed.
talking about right now. I'm very confused.
So
Yeah,
I mean, like
not
I
informed.
think, like listen, this will clearly bring people in. I think this will appeal to Marvel collectors. Like that's why Lord of the Rings was successful, because it appealed to Lord of the Ring collectors.
Yeah.
Now, what I don't know, and what Magic will know, and what we'll know when we get their reporting this year, is did those players that cared about Lord of the Rings maintain their love of Magic after Lord of the Rings?
I think some did. Like I think some.
Yeah, we're gonna find that out in the financials.
Yeah,
like we're gonna see that by the end of the year.
And I think it's going to be really hard for them to evaluate, because I think a lot of those people are probably not playing at a local game store. Like it as much as I like that people come into the store, I think very few people came into the store, bought a Lord of the Rings Commander deck, and then came back every week for Commander. Like they're playing Commander with their family, their friends at their house. But that's still a win at the end of the day.
Sure.
Can I-
Lorcana's leftovers are doing good for everybody.
I think it did more. Lord of the Rings did more than just, how many Lord of the Rings fans can we get involved? There's a lot of crossover that we kind of anticipated between Magic fans and Lord of the Rings fans. So that set was really twofold, right? It brought a lot of people in, but it also was a good amount of fan service. As much as we scream from the mountaintops, and hold on, this is for you guys. I hate Universes Beyond. I hate playing Frodo in my Jace with the Doctor Who and the Rick Grimes. And
Louis,
as much
you've lost weight.
as much as we complain about that, it seems like people didn't mind, because it wasn't just Lord of the Rings fans buying the product.
Right.
Like
So
it was
here's the
everybody,
trick, right?
Everybody.
You know who minds? A bunch of old fogies like me. And you know who nobody cares about the opinion of? Old fogies like me.
Well, it's because old fogies like you don't buy the new Magic sets.
Yeah,
like,
bingo. Absolutely, that's absolutely correct. That's exactly the situation.
but like, there's plenty of Magic for you to enjoy the way you enjoy it. That's there.
Completely agree.
I agree with you, Josh. Like I agree with what you're saying. And I'm there. Like I have, but there is
I don't think you are. You can't just keep saying you're there.
So, all right, I'm gonna throw my friend Sam under the bus, because Sam was in my Discord. He's a person in my store. He posted on our Discord. He's like, all this stuff when the Marvel stuff was released. He's like, all this stuff increasingly makes me want to not play Magic. Somebody responded to him and said, but won't you be excited when the people who play Magic with you, the community grows? And he agreed with that. Like he's agreeing with that. He's there. But the feeling from somebody who's been playing Magic the Gathering for 25 years is that Wizards doesn't care about me anymore. They only want to care about those new people. But and hold on, let me finish. I think that there's a lot of fairness to that. Because let me finish. Because
agreeing with you, God Almighty.
Let me agree with it when I'm done. Because the 25-year-old Magic the Gathering fan has been thrown through the ringer recently. Like we had
the 25-year-old Magic fan.
Let him finish. Continue.
I just want to make sure I have it clear.
No, not the 25-year-old. The person who's been around Magic the Gathering for 25 years.
Okay, gotcha.
Magic 30 comes out, and we all expected this big celebration where everybody could be involved. And instead of being able to draft it together, it was $1,000, $300 packs, and it was not that. Like it's just the feeling of people who have been in the community for the long time is that we don't matter anymore, and that sucks. I think though, if they can be successful outside of those bubbles, they can then focus within that, and maybe that's good. Like I said in my video today, like maybe they can go back to a block set, like block standard releases, and like they can, if they have the freedom to do the outside stuff, they can do the inside stuff. Maybe there's not a ton of evidence for that though.
Go ahead.
I want to tell you something that's helped me with a lot of my coping with this, and help me just kind of embrace the way Magic is now. Because we've talked about this on the phone.
Most condescending podcast I've ever been a part of, and I love it.
I agree with you. We've talked about this. I would prefer not to have this in my Magic, but I'm just sick of screaming about it. But I want to say this, and I want you to listen to me, my friend. Mm-hmm. Wizards of the Coast is not your friend. Wizards of the Coast is nobody's friend. If Wizards of the Coast was an ice cream flavor, they'd be pralines and dick.
I agree, but
tell me the first half. Wow,
George, go ahead and say
what's that movie?
And then
what's
I want to say my defense to it. George, go ahead and say what
but go ahead.
But the Wizards of the Coast design team and the people making the cards and the game itself and the people making that experience are your friends. And they're designing something really fun, set after set after set. So if you can embrace that and just have fun with it, I think you're going to enjoy it a lot more. You got to let this go, though.
I agree. But I think there's still valid points on the other side of that is what I'm saying. I am there. Like, I have accepted it. Other than Doctor Who, like, I play the Warhammer decks. I enjoy them. I've played with the Lord of the Rings stuff and said it's really fun. And it's really good and it's enjoyable. Like, I'm excited about Fallout. We'll talk about Fallout here in a minute. Like, I'm excited about the Fallout set. I'm there, but I also see and hear people, and I understand their point of view from why they're on the other side. Is what I'm saying.
I mean, like, this is what it means to be. This is what it means to, like, run a company, right? I mean, like, at the end of the day, like, WotC's going to focus on people who buy product.
Yeah.
Like Josh is absolutely right. The odds of me buying a new Magic product is pretty low. Even if I were to get back into Magic meaningfully, I can't imagine a world in which I am buying current boxes to add to my deck. I can't imagine that.
Well, like a lot of but you don't play Magic.
No,
currently.
but I mean, like,
but people who have been playing Magic for 25 years and are still playing Magic still buy. They liked Wilds of Eldraine. They're still buying new sets and enjoying them.
I think a lot more are playing at home on their kitchen table. I know that one very famous content creator doesn't believe games get played at home at kitchen tables, but like I think they happen to. In fact, I think that's where most games get played.
100%.
And like they don't. They're not going out to buy this set. They're not going out to buy any set.
Yeah.
George, do you really believe that that's where most games get played?
I believe that
by 30-1. You
should start a YouTube channel about playing games at the kitchen table. You should call it KitchenTableTCG. I'm in. I will only cover collectible card games.
No,
I'll DM you after. I got a brand new logo for you.
We agree. No, don't spoil my new logo.
Everybody loves poker.
I just said I was going to DM George.
We already agreed George's YouTube channel has to be Dining Room Table TCG because he's not poor.
So it's like KitchenTableTCG, one level fancier.
Awesome. All right. I want to say one more thing about Marvel because I think this is something that a lot of people are sleeping on.
Get ready, Josh.
No, this is good. Listen.
That was the most condescending speech by Josh anybody has ever delivered on any
I love
podcast.
that, Josh. That's my favorite Josh. Not last week's Josh. Not
last week's Josh was a rougher on the edge.
Her upset Josh. I like sassy Josh. That's how I want my Josh. Sassy.
Go ahead, Louie. We're ready for your take.
I like sassy assy Josh. That's my favorite. All right. No, this is good. Josh. So we've been talking, the three of us privately have said a lot about how tiny the TCG community is and how all three of us thought when we started the channels, when we started the podcast, when we started being involved in all this, that the TCG industry was way bigger than we've realized that it actually is. We cry on the phone together and ask ourselves, why did we ever start businesses and alone channels in what is a very, very tiny industry and very, very tiny community. Take that to Marvel, where you have YouTube channels that have 4, 5, 6 million subscribers that are talking about Marvel daily and doing lore and doing videos and making content about this stuff. Tiny Temples. Take that to Lord of the Rings. We saw this with Lord of the Rings, where you have massive streamers who are streaming for the one of one ring because they love Lord of the Rings. They have no clue. They played Magic the Gathering when they were 12, right? Like they have no clue what the current ecosystem is, but they care because of, and I think this is the win I see for Wizards more than it is the number of boxes sold, more than it is the number of people who go to an LGS. They are trying, and they said this 3 years ago, they're trying to make Magic the Gathering a mainstream thing. And it doesn't matter how many boxes they sell to do that. It's how many eyeballs see Magic the Gathering over and over. So now if you're a Lord of the Rings fan and a Marvel fan, which is a lot of people, like that's not a small number of people who are those two fans, you saw Magic the Gathering when you were looking at the Lord of the Rings stuff, and now you see your Marvel content creator making Magic the Gathering. You're like, oh man, maybe this is a real thing. This isn't some nerdy stuff that happened 20 years ago, 30 years ago. This is like a real thing that people do. And I think that's a huge win.
And this is like, if I had one question for somebody at WotC who was a decision maker.
Chris Cox. He's not paying any attention though. He's on Wikipedia.
Who, me?
That was
Chris
Cynthia,
Cox.
Right?
Oh.
I thought Cynthia was on Wikipedia.
Sure, whatever. They're on Wikipedia.
It would be this. It would be like how, how do you see Magic the Gathering growing? Because I don't think why is Pokemon still doing well, even though their boxes are free with every Happy Meal today? It's because they don't rely on the TCG. They rely on the video games, movies, TV shows, theme parks, other IP stuff. WotC, by leaning into others' IP, seems to be saying, I'm not going to focus on my IP. I'm going to lean into others' IP. That means you really have to grow your awareness by the trading card game. I don't think there's going to ever be a crossover good enough to kind of cross that lexicon and have the weight of a video game or a movie or something like that does really well.
I agree.
I mean, even the very popular Pokemon movies, they can't keep up with my girl Tay Tay.
Nobody
the 3-hour movie.
Your girl Tay Tay, though.
Well, nobody could. Nobody could. She stomped on Pikachu's head at the movie theaters.
It's not even the same.
They kicked that rat.
Decade?
They kicked that rat to the curb.
Well, yeah, listen, if I dated Travis Kelce, I'd have a ton of people at my movie too.
It's true.
You can't be on
How
that
long do you
side.
How long do you think it's gonna last? Think this is the one?
I think it's already over.
No.
Yeah.
You didn't think it was a thing to begin with. You thought it was. Hold on. You flooded that up too.
Yeah, no, I told you I'm all in on the conspiracy theory that because she's a Jets fan, she's going to date him until the Jets game. That's the last game of the season is the Jets game, and they're going to break up right before that, and that's going to drop them out of the.
Is Travis
playoffs.
Kelce that important of a player?
Yes.
I've never
Is he
heard
really?
of him. I never heard of him before
Some
this.
consider him to be the greatest
never
tight
heard of
end
him before this.
to ever play football.
Football's not a real sport, so it doesn't matter.
That's a wild take.
I hate football. I think
That's a
football's the
wild
most
take.
boring sport.
I might disagree with you because of my concussions from playing football, but that's a wild
I
take.
just think in 4 hours you watch 12 minutes of action. Give me a real sport like hockey where it's 3 hours you're watching tons of.
You tell
Do you know
everybody how popular hockey is.
You know how hockey was
Listen, we have a
invented?
lot of Canadian. No, I don't care though.
The extra maple syrup, they just started sliding around it and decided to make it a game.
I would watch that. I would watch that.
Yeah. Anyway, I think the Marvel stuff.
That's
I
the
think
question for Chris Cox is how are you going to grow this? I understand you want to grow Magic. How?
Because and this is something I've also said, because what Magic succeeds in is the gathering part. What other thing can you?
Right.
And that's the win. That's what you're selling people is the gathering, the getting together with friends and playing a game. And frankly, people who like Marvel have probably been looking for that for a long time. Name me a successful Marvel game that people come around and enjoy. Go.
No, I was Marvel Snap, but they don't come around and enjoy that. They sit behind their screens.
Right.
And
That's
their
a
devices.
phone thing, right?
I didn't think of Marvel Snap.
How did you not think of Marvel Snap?
How are they How many
don't
licenses are you giving out, Bob Iger? Keep going, baby. Get me them tendies. Bring back the divvy.
There is
Bring
a
back
really
the
good.
divvy.
There is a really good Marvel card game, like a legacy or living card game, whatever. I don't remember what it's called, but I think that the Magic
Marvel Snap. I completely forgot about that.
The Magic sales pitch is being able to get together with your friends and enjoy the IP that you love. I think that's a win. I think that will grow the community.
I think that's a big win.
I think that will really grow.
There's also something else here too, that most people that engage in some way with a trading card game we're a unique bunch, right? And sometimes we feel the overwhelming majority of us have been through a time in our life where we feel some social pressure or something like that, where it's I'm a little anxious to be around a larger group of people. I'm a little anxious to jump headfirst into a new thing that's maybe not my bag. But when you've heard of it before, if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, if you're a fan of Spider-Man, and you're familiar with hearing Magic the Gathering, maybe you opened a pack once, that comfort level just goes up and up, and you're more comfortable just, hey, there's this local game store doing a Magic cruise. Oh, I've heard of I know what Magic is. I opened that pack that one time. Maybe now I'll take the step. So there's also a value of exposure here, in my opinion, right? Getting you comfortable with the idea of Magic the Gathering, like you said, as a thing, and helping you maybe take that next step. Maybe you don't commit. Maybe the Marvel set comes out, you try it, you go away, but 3 years later, you're bored at college and looking for something to do. There's a Magic group. You're way more comfortable with
this
that.
is really specific. Your name is Josh. You live in this dorm room.
All right.
Your
Listen,
best friend is Ben.
some of us weren't cool, and there's a reason we didn't graduate, and it might have been Magic.
The reason I did graduate was alcohol.
I'm going to Thanos
Also the reason I
snap,
didn't.
and we're going to end this. discussion on Marvel. That was a Thanos snap joke. All right, here we go. Let's
We're
talk
half
about
done?
Magic's Apocalypse. The Fallout set.
I don't even remember. Well,
The Fallout set. How tiny does the Fallout set look now? Like I was so excited about this, and then the Marvel stuff. I'm like, oh, this like doesn't matter. It's just like
So I think the thing I think WotC is doing really smart is they're appealing to different audiences. Like there is a lot of crossover between Marvel and Lord of the Rings and Fallout Boy, but there's also a lot of those things are also separated.
Yeah.
Like, you can be a fan of Spider-Man and not be a fan of Lord of the Rings and vice versa. I think they're doing a very good job of spreading out their IP tentacles.
Well, I mean, when you're just going for anybody that will take you and literally making anything, like that's what happens. Like it's just like they're just running around and being like, "Hey, you want to make a set? You want to make a set? We can do 1,000,000 sets now."
So they're already doing 1,000,000 sets, right? Like they're committing to 1,000,000 sets.
You know who would be a great person to do a set with? Kesha.
The party don't
Kesha
start
would make
till she walk in.
Kesha would make a bomb.com set.
Can we
Kesha,
just-
get in the DMs.
Can we just make sure that we all agree that we keep Taylor Swift for Pokemon because Pokemon needs the help?
No, you had your shot with Logan Paul and you blew it.
No, screw Logan Paul. I want
picked Crypto
Tay-Tay.
Zoo. You picked Crypto Zoo. Now we get Tay-Tay.
We need Tay-Tay on Pokemon side.
You need it. I'll give you that. You all need it.
Tay-Tay.
It is getting bad out there.
What if we offer you Travis Kelce?
Paradox Rift
That's the best
is
we
going
can
to
do.
be.
Best,
I don't want
best
that.
we can do is Tay adjacent.
So let me ask you this: what will look worse, the world after the nuclear bomb and Fallout, or the current Pokemon market after Paradox Rift drops?
I don't know.
Ooh.
Paradox. So I asked somebody the other day. I was like, so what's the win on Paradox Rift? And they said, it's a player set. They're like, it's really good for the players. I was like, oh, okay. I don't know.
I got so much. I'm screwed.
Oh no.
All right, let's talk about Fallout. So
If there's not a Fallout Boy chasing this, they have failed us. I'm gonna say it.
I want to start with the
What was their
what
song?
this is. I like that this is not that it's just like I like that they're doing right now with the Universes Beyond, where it's just a collector box and commander decks.
I like
That's
that.
And that's different from the Marvel stuff that they're announcing.
Not a Tentpole. It's not a Tentpole.
It's not a temple. So, do you guys like that release cadence? Did it work with Doctor Who? And what about it looks good for Fallout?
I love it.
Scene. It's an arms race. That was the song.
There it is. I've said it several times on the channel. I love the addition of the collector box because you can, if you want every card, you can get it in the commander decks, and it's that. How do you train a potential Magic the Gathering player? Well, you teach them commander, and then what else do you do? Well, you convince them to crack a pack and get something shiny to add to their deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's like the natural progression. So I love the cadence of the commander release collector deck.
It's good.
Pairing.
I think it's great. Smart.
Yeah. And you don't gatekeep any of the cards either. Like, listen, you can get every card in that set by just buying the commander
Timey-wimey,
decks,
baby.
and then
Timey-wimey.
boom, you're done.
The Timey-Wimey deck's insane. The
Yeah.
price on that thing's going nuts.
Go.
Yeah, I really like it. I really think that this is like in my mind they can do a lot of these. Like
Yeah.
the biggest question for me on we are now accepting Universes Beyond is just going to happen. The biggest question for me
It's like this is the 20th time you said that this podcast.
listen,
And then you tell
I
us why it's
graduated
horrible.
from therapy. This is what I used to talk about with
I
Carol.
will get the FUD alert out again. I
This is-
swear to God.
This is what we have to talk about now. You guys have to keep me on line. I think the biggest question for me is how many can they do with good mechanics? And like that's been the win that I've heard from my local community is, hey, I don't really like Doctor Who, but man, those cards are fun to play with. Man, I like that commander. Man, I like the ecosystem that they're creating or playing in the pot of four. And so I think their biggest question for me is how much like staffing can Wizards put on how many different sets at a time. But man, like I looked at all this stuff and the Fallout decks, everyone I'm talking to is like, I can't wait to buy a set of 4 of them and just play them against each other. They look so much fun. I don't know. It seems pretty exciting.
I got to tell you, I'm not a big Commander player, but I was so excited when I saw the mechanics of this deck and how like
enthusiasm
Fallout specific they were, and how it did. None of them seemed to the naked eye crazy broken. Oh, dude, on point. They nailed this set. It looks like from the earlier, maybe there's something that's going to break it. I love the idea that it's like IP specific mechanics, like the rad counters.
Yeah,
it's so cool, and it doesn't seem like overpowered, but it's so fun to play. It's really neat.
That Mothman deck is going to sell insane in my store. It's going to be insane. We are 25 minutes from the Mothman Museum. I'm going to over order on this by like 4 billion.
That was my best take.
The Mothman Festival for you is going to be nuts.
It's going to take all my decks and go to the Mothman Festival. Just be like, anybody want to play Magic?
What if there's serialized Mothmen?
There's not. I want to. Let's get to the serialized. The serialized cards suck.
That's true. Wait.
They suck. They're terrible.
Damn.
This is going to be the worst. Like, where's the fuddler? Get in there. This is going to be the worst.
This is your moment.
Like, this is Wizards messing up. Oh, you agree? This looks terrible. If there's nothing else, if there's no other serialized that they are saving,
what are the serialized?
I'm almost like, don't buy collector boxes as a store. I'm almost like, I don't want any. Listen, this is rough. This is not going to move the needle.
Is it Pokemon? Is it Paradox serialized?
You took it too far,
I
buddy.
didn't. It's an uncommon. It's an uncommon. The card is like the one they shared. Is
you said this during the Brothers War. That when it's serialized, it doesn't matter if it's an uncommon, a mythic,
or
rare.
Brothers War, they were doing iconic Magic the Gathering cards. This is a bobblehead.
I'm in. I love bobbleheads.
It's a bobblehead with bobblehead tribal. Like what? Who wants this? Nobody wants
meaningful. The Fallout fans probably do.
No, they don't.
Listen,
I've talked to them. They aren't excited about it.
You talked to all of them?
No, talk to the ones most
talk to the one who hates Soul Ring already, Josh. He also hates this one.
I gotta change the Louis nailed it alert. Oh no.
Like, who's excited for this? It doesn't exist.
Listen, I tend to agree with you. It's really, I don't know.
And on top of it not being a good card, it's just the same artwork with like a lightly.
They do need to fix that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That I agree with.
Like if this was a close-up shot of the bobblehead with like a special foil, like a special.
Hold on. No, we're evaluating art later, bud. Slow down.
Have you folded one in half yet or no?
I just think this.
Oh my god! Get a serialized bobblehead and fold it in half.
The only other thing that saves the collector boxes is the Vault Boy artwork, which I think is super good.
Oh wow,
the Vault Boy artwork is pretty good.
They nailed that stuff.
I have have you guys
another Soul Ring, by the way?
I've played a lot. Like I played Fallout.
I'm stealing Louis' Universe's Beyond idea and doing Fallout because he's doing something boring with Final Fantasy. I'm doing something fun. I'm doing something fun.
No.
I'm doing something fun. No, dude, you already have Final Fantasy. You're fine.
Oh, Final Fantasy is way better than Fallout.
I don't think it's as fun of a stream experience. It's really like the old ones are so story driven that you can't just like pop in. And
I do agree that Louis needs to get to Final Fantasy 7 so I can start walking and carrying.
It's hilarious. Somebody traded in Final Fantasy 7 to the store like 3 days ago.
Not the remastered, the real one, right?
It's free content, dude. Free content.
The PlayStation 1.
God, you've never played it before, right?
No, I've never played any Final Fantasy.
All right, I won't spoil it.
Other than everyone, I'm streaming Final Fantasy games on the YouTube channel, so go watch that if you haven't.
And by that he means he's behind the controller, but Yogo's playing.
Yeah, Yogo
knows everything about that game.
I play on this analog pocket. It's so sweet. You don't see that, but dude, this thing is amazing. Sorry, I love.
So wait, what's the analog pocket?
This is so you can put
Tell
in.
it to us, dude.
Okay, you can put in Game Boy games. I'm turning it on right now. You can put in Game Boy games, and it plays like physical hardware. This is an EverDrive. It has all the games on it, but then it it has every Game Boy game and Game Boy Color game ever, and it plays it just like a physical cartridge. Yeah, so. You can take your regular Game Boy game and put it in this thing, and it's got like an HD screen. It's super good. Okay, but then it also has a emulator that you can download on it, and you can play Super Nintendo games. Like this is Final Fantasy, and it plays the original. Like it emulates.
What does that cost?
Hardware. This was $250. Yeah. So Final
I'd much
So
rather have
then
that than a collector box.
I put this in a little thing, and it goes to the it can go to a TV, and then you've got a wireless Super Nintendo controller. That
Is it
you can-
Bluetooth, the little thing?
Yeah, it's amazing. It's the greatest thing. I'll get you one. You can't buy them at GameGrove.gg. You can't. I wish.
You can't, but you
I
buy one
actually
at
just became-
GameWorkGrove.gg.
I did become a dealer for EverDrives, but
Isn't that just like illegal software that you're now a dealer for?
no, I'm don't
No,
sell the
they've-
software. You
A
sell
lot,
the hardware.
a lot of those things have actually gotten deals to be able to provide those games now. It used to be, you were thinking the MAME days, George, when it used to be
Yeah.
all rips. Now a lot of people have actually gotten like.
How do I buy
licensing
one of
deals.
these?
So let me be very clear. They don't sell any of the software. Like they don't sell the games. They don't sell any of that stuff. What they sell is equipment. Is the product that you can then go illegally
We
download
need them
the
to
games.
sponsor this podcast so I can get one.
And I bought the real
That would be
game
cool.
that I'm playing. Now I didn't
Wait.
buy the rest of the games. This is real, complete in the box. It's cool. Anyway,
There's no
it's pretty
universe with it, which that's not an empty box. I want to be crystal clear here. That is an empty box. Oh, that's disappointing. I wish it was an empty box. There's still
Wait,
no
you
game.
opened it? It's not sealed?
Oh, never mind. I'm
sweet.
really
Screw
disappointed.
you.
I'm really sad. I thought you were just like, it's my empty box.
I paid on eBay for that.
How much was
Paid
it?
400 something like that. I don't remember. Don't quote me on that. Josh's whole background is fake. Confirmed. All right.
This is the one
Anyway,
I opened on stream.
What were we talking about? Oh, Josh is stealing my idea for Fallout streams. You're dead.
No, I'm improving on your idea and I'm doing something cool with it.
So I've never played Fallout. I might play it.
It's fun. It's good.
Is it? What
And-
is it? Is it? What kind of game is it?
It's an open world RPG. You're in a post-apocalyptic world, walking around, killing stuff.
God, these are poorly made.
The best and worst part of Fallout is that you can only have a certain number of a certain weight on you, or you slow down. You get over
understand
encumbered.
that. I get that.
Is that the right pronunciation?
Yes.
Okay.
Nailed it.
Tentpole sets and over encumbered.
Listen, you guys thought this was going to be a boring podcast. I'm bringing the energy today, baby.
You are bringing the energy. You are bringing the energy.
I
Tentpole energy.
this
Tentpole energy.
this set has a lot of hype behind it. Like
Yeah.
don't sleep on this. If
no,
you're,
no.
like,
People love Fallout.
and the cards seem powerful. This is the Dr. Madison Lee. Do you know this, Josh? This is the only legendary creature with energy on it.
That's my only skepticism, and I think I just have teamer energy nightmares. So the fact that energy is a mechanic makes me nervous. I've said that a lot.
But if you like energy, you've never been able to play Commander with an energy focus.
If you like energy, you don't like playing fair magic, and Commander might not be for you.
I think that's like.
Did you ever play against that deck?
Yeah.
It's a horrible. It's
There's
the
isn't there a
worst.
Pioneer version of that going around?
I think they tried to make they tried to make a modern one, and then some cards got banned. I don't think there's any Pioneer versions. A lot of that stuff is just it's banned. When the formats announced, they're like, nope, just energy's banned. Bad idea, are bad. Can't do it.
That one's pretty strong too. Whenever you cast an artifact spell, you get energy. Like you get a lot of free energy.
It's the only thing I'm skeptical about is anytime they're like, hey, we're bringing energy back. Oh, we're also bringing companion back. Like, ugh.
I'm in.
I
Okay.
don't know. That one seems pretty strong and pretty
course
cool. I
not
think people are gonna like
Bring
that.
back the food.
The Mothman, I'm actually like low-key
Just saying
hoping
things.
I'm low-key hoping that the Mothman's the least popular of the commander decks. Like it's the one that is everywhere else really cheap.
To boost the sales for you for your bad product.
Like in my store, it's going to be the easiest one to sell by far. Like I think at some point in my store, there will be a time where everyone's just like, "Hey guys, you know, what'd be really funny is if we all played our Mothman decks against each other. It was Mothman versus Mothman." Like that will 100% happen.
So what I'm hearing
You know
is
what?
if you want any deck that isn't the Mothman deck,
Buy one at GamerGrove.gg. I'm gonna do an event on this release that is the buy-in is buying a Mothman deck, and it's all Mothman. The whole event, and it's all one-on-one commander with Mothman. Like people are gonna go
oh
crazy
my
about
god, that's the worst.
that. It's gonna be great.
That's
gonna be amazing.
sadistic. That's horrible. I've got a buddy who gets together with his friend like once a month, and his friend insists on playing only one-on-one commander. and he's
Oh.
like, "This is tough. I really like the friend, but I really hate one-on-one commander."
The deck I like the most is the human soldier one, the Mardu one. I think that one looks super strong.
I was mad it wasn't Mardu Enchantments. Mardu Enchantments is cool.
This one's sacrifice though. You're literally killing your soldiers to make more
The theme fits, dude. It just fits. It's good.
I don't know. I think this stuff looks cool. I really like the we're talking about art again, but the what's it called? The Pip-Boy.
What happened to you today?
I don't know, man. Why?
You're on an art kick like I've never seen before.
He's feeling sophisticated, man.
I've been prepping for sorcery content, man. We're doing like art reviews now. I took an art class this week. Like it's a whole thing.
What art class did
I'm
you
just
take?
joking, but that would
Did you
be
fail it?
hilarious. That's what I should do. I should live
Ask
stream
Universes Beyond. Universes Beyond. Louis goes to art class.
my sorcery
Be a
content. should be
preschooler.
art class.
It's gonna be a preschool. It's gonna be a preschool art class. It's like I drew a rainbow.
Goes to art class with his daughter and he fails.
It's so funny. All right. Anyway, I'm very excited for Fallout. I'm more excited.
You're getting excited for Mothman. Let's be honest with each other.
I'm excited for that idea I just had. That was me coming up with that idea live, by the way.
So, sorry, GameGrove.gg. You guys are going to struggle for this one.
All right.
May the zoo be with you, the genesis of all bad ideas.
Truth.
There's the apocalypse. Lost Caverns. Now we're gonna go talk about Lost Caverns. Ridiculous.
All right, you keep rolling. I'm getting me a refill of my drink.
That's okay. Louis wants to talk Commander deck specifics.
Yeah, I know this.
No, I don't. I just think
I want to
need
know about
mention
the art.
it.
I want to know about the art in this set, Louis. Can you go over that for me?
I just think so. I really want to talk to you guys. George is leaving, so that's great content. He's got shorts on right now. I don't know.
I've got
You
my
have
very
shorts on?
first pair of joggers I've ever bought on. I've never
Really?
owned joggers before. Yeah.
Joggers are nice because your feet don't get caught up. Like your pants don't, step on your pants. Yeah.
It's very, and they got them in talls. So that's the reason I bought them. They had talls, dude.
Now I will say joggers whenever you like they come up on your leg a lot easier.
I played
your ankles get
basketball in
cold.
them. Yeah, I played basketball in them. I noticed that they tend to
You
hop up.
use pants in basketball?
Yeah, it's getting to that time of the year where sometimes the gym's cold in the morning, and I didn't bring like shorts to take the sweatpants off, so I just played in them the whole time.
Oh, I couldn't do that. Well, I couldn't play basketball, period. But like in general, if I was
You
doing
could.
an
I'll teach you.
athletic-
It'll be fine.
If I was doing an athletic thing, I wouldn't be in pants. But
Don't divert the topic, dude. Ixalan me up.
okay, so do you feel like there's any excitement for this set while everyone is talking about Marvel and Fallout?
Well, to be clear, like we still have a while before Ixalan comes out, right?
Nope.
What is it?
Pre-release is in like a week and a half.
Yeah, and Magic. Sorry,
The 10th.
that's
Pre-release is the 10th.
that's half the time between two sets in Magic World. Like, no. And this is kind of what I alluded to earlier. In my opinion, this is the future of Magic: The Gathering. These sets are going to be for your Ixalans, your Wilds of Eldraine, Phyrexia. They're for people like you and I that
Mhm.
love Magic. So I don't think you're going to see the public hype cycle for stuff like this. But personally, I'm excited for this set. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Like, listen, who doesn't want to cast gigantic dinosaurs?
Oh, this is the Jurassic World set.
Yeah, this
Yeah.
is so they did the lore today and the
Yeah.
article is available. I didn't read it because
Follows
I can't read.
because I can't read.
Uh,
Is Chris Pratt in the set?
There's no serialized Chris Pratt artwork.
They should have Community as like a special subset.
Dude,
Like,
Community is like the greatest show ever. I
Yeah.
forgot that's Chris Pratt, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's
No.
not. I was thinking of Parks and Recreation.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Community
is
is
better than
also
Parks.
Sixth season in a movie.
Community
Totally
is-
dope.
Community is way better than Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec is
Interesting.
good only because of not Dwight. What's his name? What's the guy? The old guy.
I know who you're Ron Swanson.
Ron Swanson. That's
Yeah.
the best part. Ron and the two guys in that. Ron and the one you just said, Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt.
Those-
Yeah.
By
Andy.
far the best part. All the female characters just seem completely fake to me. Like they're
What?
no. they are way
No.
beyond realistic humans. It's like The
Can I-
Office. Like there's no way that I don't know. Michael Scott.
You
is a real
understand they're not
person.
dramas; they're comedies, right?
You have clearly never worked in corporate America. There are for sure
period.
some Michael Scotts out there.
Yes.
There are for sure
Yeah.
some Michael.
Yeah.
But here, let me hit you with this. Community better than Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec outtakes better than community outtakes. Parks and Rec outtakes are
100%. Chris Pratt outtakes are the best.
hilarious.
So
They're
we all
hilarious.
agree though. The Office, Community, Parks
Yeah.
and Rec.
Fair.
I think that's right.
Fair assessment.
Wow, we found something we all agree on.
I don't know. Get to the comment section because I don't think anyone would disagree. That seems like a pretty
Us
pretty
three
good
agreeing
order.
on something that has that many different potential
How is-
variables that's impressive.
that's not the
Like, how is there? Like, they keep, promising the movie. When are we gonna get the movie?
What
6 seasons and a movie.
Right. I want the into movie part.
Of what?
Community.
Oh, that's never happening.
I think it will.
We're filling that void. May this be with you. 6 seasons and a movie.
Okay,
We'll
so Lost Caverns. Let's go back to it.
we'll do it. We'll do it for cheaper.
Lost Caverns. The lore is really
It's
cool.
like the Metasu movie. It'll come out sooner or later.
The entire
We'll do it for
world.
cheaper.
The entire
Mothman.
world-
I'll wear a Mothman outfit.
Okay, hold on. Can we, George in West Virginia in a Mothman outfit
I'll do it for any Tentpole set you got.
during Lost Caverns of Ixalan release, where Louie and I wear giant blow up dino costumes?
It's gonna be Tentpole City.
Okay. So, Lost Caverns. The world is hollow.
Center
That's really
sun.
cool.
Center
Uh,
sun.
Yeah, and there's like
Always
all these
daylight, by the
special-
way.
special artifacts within that are special that everybody's hunting for. Kind of a cool magic theme, I think. I don't know. I think it's really cool.
This is a great fan service for Magic fans. I think this is a good set. I love it. I'm excited. And it's got what Mana Crypt and is it Cavern of Souls? Is Cavern of Souls reprints in
Okay,
here? Right?
here's a hot
Yeah.
one, dude. Some of the guys I play Commander with were talking about this. They think that Mana Crypt will go, or I said that Mana Crypt will go sub 100. They all said there's no shot in hell that Mana Crypt goes sub 100.
There's no every pack has an opportunity at the Mana Crypt, don't they? Because it's one of the
Yeah, it's one of the
one of the
special
slot
guests.
cards, the special gets. So there's no chance that Mana Crypt stays. If every pack has a shot at $100 card, this may be the best selling standard set of all time. Like every single pack you open, you just get a $100 card.
I think they're wild. Mana Crypt's only $144.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's gonna be under 100.
Liliana, remember Liliana was at like what 30 or something like that, and I was like, "There's no shot it goes under 20." What did I say? 21, 20, 18 maybe, and it's like $7 now. It's like
Josh just gets it. That's what
it's
I'm
like
hearing.
ridiculous. So what's
Well, the
your number
difference
for
was
Mana Crypt?
Liliana didn't see as much play, and I think that's something you overlooked. Liliana is iconic, but you were still stuck in that era where we enjoyed, where it's all out of play. It's not as popular anymore. Like it just doesn't get slammed on the table as much.
So what's your target price for Mana Crypt? Like what do you?
No,
That's what we do here, baby.
I'm in.
Speculate.
I'm in.
That's
I'm
what
in.
we do here.
All right, $50,
And what's the front run
45
of
to
it?
$50
All
for
right,
the cheapest
George?
version.
I think it's about right. Maybe 65.
45
He's
to
like
50,
1450.
65, 45. I'm going $56.
You're such a coward. You are such a coward.
No, I don't. I think 65 is probably. I think that's where I'd be. 65.
You didn't add the last word, but that's okay. We all know it.
It was intentional. It's not my channel. I don't want to demonetize someone else.
It was about to when we get to sorcery in a minute. It's all right.
That's
I
right.
think I accidentally
That's
clicked
right.
on it already. They already saw it. They already saw it.
So since nobody's seeing this portion of the podcast anymore, what do you guys really want to talk about?
Louis does not edit.
Oh no,
Louis
this
will
will
not
get
edit.
pulled up.
No.
YouTube will pull it down.
What?
If you show that, they won't just demonetize it; they'll pull it. Hey, you can't tell me you could just go throw nudity on YouTube and they wouldn't take it
she's not
down.
even like it's so.
You're arguing
it's so
the
tiny, you
degree
can't
of
even see
nudity.
it.
You're arguing the degree of
Listen,
nudity, admitting that there's nudity.
All right, wait. Can we talk about the commander decks? There's some cool ones. Velociraptor. That's cool.
It's a good deck.
That's a
name.
good pun. That's a great.
It's a good deck name.
That's a great deck name, and it's like a weird. What's the ability, Josh? I'm losing it in my brain.
I have no idea. You showed me these before we started the podcast.
No, the one
I
where you
don't know
play
what
a
you're
card.
thinking.
You play a card, and then you get to search it or reveal cards to
Cascade?
Cascade.
It's the
Sonic
most
Cascade.
skill intensive in mechanic in Magic the Gathering.
This one
by
is
far.
called Discover X, where X is that creature's toughness, and Discover is exile cards from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card with that mana value or less. Cast it without paying its mana cost, or put it into your hand. So you don't have to cast it. It's like better Cascade, right?
Because it's only creature's toughness. Cascade can be on anything. I'm not going to get into the nuance. It's different.
It's kind of cool though.
It's skill intensive. You flip cards until you get a good one and you get to play it.
Yeah.
Takes a lot of
Wow.
skill.
That's kind of cool. The other one, Merfolk, that one will be the one that nobody wants.
Shout out TCC.
It explores. Explore is a cool mechanic, but that will be the one nobody wants.
Like
Then the
there's a
other one is
pirate deck.
Pirates, Ahoy Mateys, and it's pirate. It's like pirate graveyard ghosts. It's like everything perfect. It's like that one. I'm like I might build that one. I just built a pirate deck, but I might build that one.
You know you can just buy it, right?
Well, like I would buy it and then upgrade it because I don't know. I don't
Play
play
a video about it.
Are you going to do a commander deck budget upgrade video?
No, God,
I've got a series idea for you.
no, God no. And the last one is Vampire Cleric. That one will also not do very well. But
Hey, vampires are cool, man. Clerics are cool.
they've
Vampires
done
are
a
cool.
ton of vampires.
I think you're just scarred from Innistrad. Like, ooh, Midnight
We all
Hunt
are.
collector box value. Ooh.
We all are. There's no shame in that, Louis. Do not let Josh Innistrad shame you.
It's Halloween time. Ooh.
All right, what's the next topic? Are we done with Magic? Oh, PSA grading.
Oh, we don't. All right, real quick. PSA absolutely hit it out of the park when it comes to their consistency across the grading centers, and that's like legitimately like very impressive to me.
Okay, so do you think that's accurate? Because I want to judge their statement.
Yeah. No. PSA.
Hey George, that thing you just said to our entire audience. Do you think that's accurate?
So I want to push back on you.
PSA said.
I want to push back on you live on the podcast because they shared data. Like you can make statistics say anything you want them to, right?
That's not true.
You can. You
Not-
can.
You could make it once you post the true statistics. You could then try to make an argument to formulate anything you want. But all we have here is the stats. That's all we have.
You can pick and choose what statistics you share, and then you can make your point. And in this case, they have chosen to utilize just ultra modern Japanese Pokemon cards.
I think it was
From
only that
20
tweet. I think they showed a bunch of other things too.
So
But
this
then
is just you
George's
sharing,
claim
like-
is
Yeah.
George's claim is just for ultra modern Pokemon and sports, their grading is super consistent.
that's the only claim you're making then?
I think that's like. I mean, like, do you think? Why do you think those two would be accurate, but like they'd be wildly off on like other things?
So like Japanese Pokemon cards are very well printed. Like
Unlike the American counterparts.
right. That's my point. Like if they were
In Pokemon's defense, it's very hard to print 3 trillion cards correctly.
like I wouldn't be surprised if PCG could correctly grade a Pokemon card, a Pokemon Japanese card. Like a blind human could look at a Japanese.
I don't think you
Pokemon
understood the
card.
point of this. That's the vibe I'm getting. The point isn't that the grades were high, is that the percentages were consistent
Yeah, but
across
my
the different
point-
offices.
My point is they are choosing the most consistently printed card. Japanese Pokemon cards are consistently well printed and consistently like they're not like English Pokemon cards. You open up the pack and the cards look like crap. You have nips
Sure.
on you, like whatever. Like the ones that they are sharing are consistently high, like consistently well graded cards. That's my point.
So let me, if the grades are consistent across multiple offices, and even if you share a great card, it's important that all of those offices recognize that it's a great card. And in the rare experience with Japanese Pokemon where you share a not so great card, it's important that all of those offices recognize in the same way that it's a not so great card. I think that's the stat
Now-
here.
I agree with you. I also agree with Louis, though, that like without Lorcana data, what do we really know?
God, are people grading like non-Disney promo Lorcana?
Of course, let's go.
Yeah. Remember,
go.
Rudy said in his video that they're getting like more Lorcana cards than Magic cards. at PCG.
I am so
Lorcana
in
is
on him
goat.
being the cultural indie TCG grade factory. Like that's going to be like the cult classic version of the movie is his grading company for indie TCGs. 100%. Like my sharks are
All right.
going to Rudy.
I want everybody to write this down. We need to create a fund where Josh gets an energy drink before every episode.
Because I'm happy. I drink.
Yes.
I drink an
You nailed
energy
it.
drink.
You nailed it.
I drink an energy drink every episode because I have to deal with you two.
So I'm going to argue with myself since neither of you argued with me. You just told me it was silly.
I refuted your entire point, but go ahead. You know what? Hit it, dude. I'm in.
They also selected modern sports from a pretty specific timeline, 1990 to 2016.
So by argue with yourself, you're going to read the chart.
Yeah, I just feel like I don't know. I don't feel like I just don't feel like PSA has been that consistent, man. Like I feel like with PSA it's pretty much a I don't know.
You should do a series. You should grade the graders.
We see a lot of this stuff. Like it's a lot of like who you get the day, I don't know. I just don't buy it. I think they're sharing data that is just too specific.
Submit the same card 10 times.
I saw one on Facebook earlier this week that they originally had a 5 and PSA gave them a 10 on a resub.
You saw it on Facebook? I've seen a lot of things on Facebook.
Right, like, I don't know if it's true or not, but that's what they claimed.
I'm in. I believe all speculation blindly. I want to be crystal clear about this.
We need to get you a second cup of coffee every episode because this is great.
I don't know. I'm just not. I would like to see all the data, and maybe George, you just didn't share that data.
I might or might not have. I don't know.
You didn't.
I think we got.
I got one very specific chart, and I asked Louis what we're talking about with this one very specific.
That's all I got. Yeah. Somebody, I do another point that some people were making about this is this is more evidence of population control rather than like consistent grading. It's like PSA has a certain number of 10s that they want to give out, and so they do that. They have a certain number of 9s that they want to give out. They have a certain number of 8s that they give out. There's been another conversation too.
That's a bit conspiracy theory-y, isn't it?
Welcome to this video with you.
Yeah,
I'm in.
I'm not saying I believe that, but like
I am.
I'm in. I believe it now.
Louis convinced me.
And I learned it on Kitchen Table TCG.
Somebody on Facebook said it. How could they ever not tell the truth?
All right.
It's on the internet.
And you guys have convinced me that we're going to edit out the stupid Frazetta artwork. So let's go to that's art review time, baby.
What?
Art review time.
What?
Did I really scare you that much?
Yeah, you guys scared me. Now I'm worried about getting my channel. The worst possible thing that could ever happen to me is posting the podcast on a Friday and having to work on Friday. Because it's the only content I make throughout the week that I upload more than like 5 minutes before it goes live. Like every other one of my videos, I'm like scrounging to make a video all day. I post it and whatever. But on Friday mornings, I wake up and I just like, oh man, I don't have to do anything today. Like it gets posted automatically. And so if the thing gets taken down because of some old guy's artwork, like that's going to piss me off.
Listen, buddy, if we're worried about it being demonetized, we'll put it on my channel. It's not monetized essentially anyway.
No, not the money. If it gets taken down and then people can't watch, I don't care about the $10. It's if people can't watch the podcast.
You make $10 off us, George. Did you know this?
No. That's news to me.
It's probably like 25 cents.
There's no way it's 10.
Yeah, let's say YouTube monetization. It's 25 cents and they take a quarter of it.
Yeah. The history of the podcast may have made us $10.
Somebody told me they left a tip last week, though.
They did. Yeah, we made $5 last week.
Somebody texted me that they sent a tip for me. And I was like, that was news to me.
George is back. Here's $5.
I got a tip on a YouTube comment this week, too.
Thank you to the viewer.
Cash is flowing. Yeah, thank you, guys.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
All right. So we're doing sorcery art.
We will read out any comment that is tipped more than $5 unless we don't like it.
Is this the reinvigoration of the closing crazy comment section?
Oh, dude, closing
that's
crazy
some of the
comment
best
section is the
content.
best
That's so
content.
much fun. That's so much fun.
We're like 5 minutes before the episode found one, and then just
we just roasted the person
most of the time.
If you said something nice, we pointed out your comment because it was so rare. But most of the time, we just roasted somebody's comment.
Oh, I miss those days. Those were good days.
Better podcast.
So we have our first Arthurian Legends spoiler of artwork. And this was the Liz Danforth Danforth, yeah. The Sealy Court.
Not believe we're critiquing artwork.
We're not actually critiquing
I
artwork.
cannot believe
I
we're about
told
to
you guys
critique
I wanted
artwork.
to critique the idea that Sorcery's big push is artwork. I want to critique that. That's what I want to critique. And then you took it as we're critiquing the artwork. So here we go. George's art reveal, George's art reviews 101, the
Why-
Liz Danforth. Go.
You put the pictures in the Discord and said this is what we're talking about.
Go.
I mean, I like it. Looks pretty good. I like the scenery. Like the little, I don't know, is that the devil or a bride or something in the background there? Pretty good. I like the pilgrim. The
Are you
pilgrim
talking
on the
about
left side.
person who's obviously getting married?
Can't really see that well. I like the pilgrim on the left side. He's pretty cool looking. I'm Team Pilgrim. That's what really speaks to me.
Makes sense. Josh?
I like the emo Spanish sword fighter in the front here. What's going on there?
That guy's jacked.
That guy is. He is.
That guy's got monkey arms like me. His arms are longer than the rest of his torso.
That guy listens to a lot of Fallout Boy, for sure.
Oh wait, I think you're talking about a different guy. You don't think the Pilgrim listens to Fall Out Boy?
No, the one in the Spanish sword fighting hat with the little dagger at his side.
Yeah, that's the Pilgrim.
That's a pilgrim.
That's not a pilgrim.
That's what George just called him.
No, I called the pilgrim, the guy in the black hat.
That's what Josh is talking about.
I
we're talking about the same thing.
I feel way more like Inigo Montoya. Yeah.
You're talking about the Roman soldier guy. What's going on?
That guy's got ridiculous forearms.
That's what I'm talking about. That guy's jacked.
That guy's got ridiculous. Well, no, he's not jacked. Like he's got huge forearms, and they're the same size as his biceps. It's very weird. It's a very weird build.
What happened when there's a Roman soldier?
That's a forearm. Got there.
When did they time there's a Roman soldier with a pilgrim?
Well,
are we ignoring how high that little goat giraffe thing is on the ground, though?
You called it a pilgrim. I'm pretty sure Josh got it right. That it's a Spanish something.
Yeah,
sword fighter. I like that he's using a troll as an armrest. It would be like if George was next to us and we were using his head.
That's every time he visits me. That's what I do.
Just use it as an
man,
armrest.
how you doing?
The details.
I want to get my forearms to look like that, like the Roman soldier guy.
Yeah,
I thought he was wearing an Apple Watch for a second too. I gotta admit, I was a little thrown.
Okay. So this is the first spoiler for Arthurian Legends. I think it's cool. I think it paints a picture of like no pun intended.
Louis' art critique. I think this is a painted picture.
No, I think it
got there.
I think this reveal particularly, where it's like a bunch of different characters, whatever, paints the picture. I can't get through it. It's too bad.
You're crushing it, dude. You're the best.
Paints a picture of what the set's gonna look like and the theme of the set and the nature of the set. I think that's cool. So I think they selected.
Didn't they already release one like earlier?
No, well, so they didn't. We're talking about what we talked about last week or 2 weeks ago with the special card. I don't think you were there. Yeah, that was a long time ago.
You don't show up all the time. We can't keep track.
We already
you show up kind of when you want.
Yeah. So that's cool. But we had a bunch of art this week. The other one.
That's why you're not getting a piece of that sweet $10 pie, dude.
I kind of like. So hot take. I kind of like the coloring better on the second one I sent you guys.
God, this is the worst content if you can see it, and horrific content if you can.
The one that.
Shout out to all of our Spotify listeners. You are the true heroes of this episode.
There's like 300 of them too. They actually matter now.
You are the Arthurian legend of May the Zoo be with you this week.
Before, when it was like 30 people, I didn't actually care that much, but there's like 300 Spotify listeners now. It's crazy. Anyway, they can come back and watch the YouTube
version. Can you
version.
please describe the next one for people then, Louis?
I want to hear your guys' takes. Like, I like the little more vibrant one in the test one. You guys see what I'm saying?
Are you talking about the knight on the back of the horse?
I'm talking about the second picture that's the same artwork, but it's not completed yet. It's not finished.
Why are No, we're done with that one. Next one, horsey time.
Yeah. I'm out of the horse, dude.
So this one is at Drew Tucker's at IX. It's like some art thing. I don't know, some big art convention.
I almost started this segment by saying this proves that Louis does more work for the podcast than either of us, George. But that statement right there made me glad I didn't open my mouth.
I'm not an artist. What am I? I don't know about art. This
You
is what I want
wanted
to
to
actually
talk
discuss.
about art.
Then why do you make
wanted
this
to
segment?
Because I told you what I actually want to discuss is like, does the average TCG player care about the art at the
Then
level?
why you post all the artwork in the Discord to discuss?
And why are we going?
Yes, at the
Why are we
scene.
going through art piece by piece to
Wait,
get to that question?
Take it back 5 seconds because we have to paint the scene for them.
Look at this art. It's cool. Look at this art. It's also cool.
I could be
Check
an art
out this
reviewer.
third-
This
check
art
out this
is
third art.
good. That muffin is bad. Andy from The Office. I could be a food reviewer. This muffin is good. This muffin is bad. Anyway, we're gonna get through this and then we're gonna have the discussion. We had to
This
paint
is
the
my
scene for
favorite piece of content I've ever been
the
a part of.
the Parmesan cheese. The Parmesan cheese got new artwork. The Cortesian bias. What do you think about that one, George? Is it better?
I like
or
it a
worse?
lot, like the vibrant colors.
Do you like it better or worse than the Frazetta art from?
Oh, way
Alpha?
better, way better.
That's
I love, like,
that's
I like,
not what you said at the beginning of the podcast.
I like the green to blue on the left side there. There's like this green to blue line on the left to kind of paint the bam colored, and like I like that a lot.
So I'm gonna
I
take
like that they're leaning into the universes beyond and making their own X-Men now. I think that's like, listen, you got to bring new people into your TCG. They recognize nobody's doing it but Magic. Sorcery's all in. That's what innovation.
They actually beat Magic to the X-Men punch then, because this came out before the Marvel announcement.
Well, this is a painting hanging on a wall.
So I'll take the bold statement. I don't love the Parmesan cheese artwork. I don't love it.
I love.
I do.
If you don't Photoshop a thing of craft, the green tube over this part of the podcast,
I do like that the artwork, in my opinion, got worse when they replaced it. That came out. It came out wrong. I think it's good art. Drew Tucker, you're better than me. Like I'm not saying that. I've
got something cool. Everyone else getting beta, you get to have crap. That's the Louis DeGeorge take.
I love how that's the worst take on every front. I love how that's
that what you get is worse than what I have.
I love how you're like, I'm glad the poor can't have what I have.
That's not what I'm saying. But
that's exactly what you're saying. That's
The comment section really liked the rich and out of touch comment last week. So
I'm glad you're like, I'm glad the poor can't have what I have. They don't deserve my artwork. The Louis DeGeorge story.
I understand what you're saying. From an alpha to beta timeline, it makes sense. But the way you said it was
the poor's kids aren't good enough to deserve it. I get it, Louis.
You said it was rough.
That's how George said that I said.
Your guys' voice blends together. In my defense, you sound the same.
You're like, the poor don't deserve my artwork.
Didn't say that. I think
basically did.
No, I think it's good that they have a
worse artwork for the poors.
I think it's good that they keep things special for alpha and different
less special
for beta. I think that there's good wins in changing things and transitioning stuff towards things.
You didn't say different. You definitely said worse the first time.
Well, it was a little bit of a bold statement when I first said it. I'll give you that.
Yeah, you're like the poor.
Hey, I like bold statements. Yeah. I'm on your side. I want my shark to remain special.
Is a shark in beta?
Yeah, and it's going to be the same artwork because Simon hates me, even though Simon supports me and he likes my channel. He's going to make the same art, and I'm going to cry to myself in my sleep. It's fine.
Wow,
it's fine. Simon's fine. Simon's fine.
Louis,
fine.
I'm really proud of you. I thought Josh's comments were going to rule the podcast this week, but I think like the poors deserve worse. Definitely the winner so far.
Fine.
Definitely the winner so far.
I don't understand. Does this count as nude artwork or not? Because Rudy's hyping up his naked promo like it's the only thing in Sorcery that matters. But like here we have in beta, this chick looks naked. Do I have to edit this or not? I don't understand the rules.
Well, I didn't dig into the pixels of the art, so I can't tell you. But I do know that you recently made a decree. So maybe you got to cover it up. I don't know. You changed your tune since the beginning of this podcast. You're all like, I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it. Now you're not going to show it.
Sorcery it confuses me. I opened I call it the.
I'm so glad we did the art critique before this. I don't know what's art. I don't know what's not art.
When I opened the Riddle Sphinx, which is a naked female sphinx that I call it the Titty Sphinx.
That's a great name, dude. You crushed. This is why
going on.
This is why you're the #1 sorcery content creator. It's not because you make stupid box opening videos just staring into the camera, opening box after. No, it's Titty Sphinx. That, you know what? Titty Sphinx is your titty Mona Lisa.
And I'm not gonna lie, I have no clue if that's a bad word. I don't know if that should be demonetized. I have no clue if it's offensive. I have no clue.
That's all
But the
follows.
fact that
I have no clue.
you win.
But
You win.
do I have to edit that when I pull that card on stream?
No, you're doing good.
I'm taking this away because apparently boobs are allowed because of Titty
like,
Sphinx.
It's not a human. It's a sphinx.
Wait, what is
it's
it?
an animal. I don't
It's a
know. It's
sphinx.
a make believe animal. So like you don't edit a female deer. You're not like, oh, that's a naked deer. Like I don't know. I have no clue how to handle it.
What does this card look like? Where you're like worried
Are
about
you
this?
just
Dude,
are
look
you
it up.
just trying to break YouTube by putting boobs on animals now?
Look up Riddle Sphinx Sorcery. Go to gamegrove.gg and type in Riddle Sphinx.
Riddle?
Hey, and while you're there, buy one and the rest of the Alpha collection that you can pick up to build
No,
your
I'm
decks.
waiting for the poors. I'm waiting for the ones that the poors can afford.
While
And so,
while
that's the
Rudy's
one I'm
hyping
buying.
up that his bundle is the only naked artwork anywhere, like meanwhile you can pull this. Does this not count? I don't understand.
My bigger takeaway is, isn't his logo on his promo card?
And how come
That was
Melissa
wild
Benson
to me.
is the number 1? Oh, that's probably because it's her artwork. Oh, that's boobs.
So when I pull that card, what do I do, George? Dad, what do I do?
I would not show that.
What? I can't stop it. I'm opening the pack.
Can you like do like the pull down thing? Be like, what's the card? Boom, boop. Nope. Next.
Anyway, so that's the Parmesan cheese artwork. Again, I don't know. It's I don't
You say it. Some people deserve more than others.
I don't understand the artwork, honestly. When I saw it, I was like, oh, that's cool. I'm glad it's different. But like
Certain classes of people just deserve less than.
I like the rest of Drew Tucker's artwork. This one's not my favorite. Am I allowed to say that? Like in an art review?
That's not the offensive part of what you said. That is not the offensive part of what you said. The offensive part was not, I prefer the Frazetta artwork.
All right. Let's get to the what's his name? Rudy one. Where is that? I had that up somewhere. This is all just Universes Beyond. Anyway, the Rudy one. It's not up there. I gotta edit it out anyway, so we're not gonna do it. No proofs allowed. No Rudy card.
I wanted to make another Tentpole joke, but I'm really fighting.
So the Rudy one, I'm pulling up them. The Rudy one it's tiny. I'm gonna keep it tiny. I'm gonna keep it tiny so it's appropriate. I'm keeping it tiny so it's appropriate. So Rudy gets a unique promo every bundle with the Rudy Alpha Investment A in the word art. I would zoom in, but I'd have to edit, so that's not going to happen. What are your guys' thoughts on this?
I was blown away that his logo was on it. I knew he was getting a promo, and I'm used to him getting specific promos from indie TCGs. The fact that his logo on it, I gotta admit, I don't know how I feel about that.
Team Covenant also has their logo on it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Which Kitchen Table TCG logo goes on your promo card?
I'm not a real content creator. I don't count. It's fair. I don't completely fair. I don't count.
In fairness, if they listen to this podcast this week, you're never getting one.
Me neither, dude. It's fine.
It's
But I don't
alright.
deserve one. You might.
I never asked for one. I'm not saying that. I'm saying
Oh no.
from a perspective
They
of,
give you the artwork in beta, gives me your logo on it, and then you have to somehow be like, "This is way better artwork. It's not just for the poors anymore."
sell it. Just be like, this is the best artwork I've ever seen.
It's only for the rich people. Only for the rich people. You have to like caviar.
I think it's I'm gonna go this way. I think they should give promos
Gotta
to
submit a
anybody who
tax
wants
form to
them,
buy it.
but the person should have to do their own artwork. You don't get to. Rudy can buy Frazetta. That's fine. He can have the Frazetta.
No, I'm with you. I
Listen.
want Rudy to do his own artwork.
If you got something like that for your patrons, I'd come on here and pump your Patreon every week
100%.
because I would want to see what you come up with. Oh my, I would be all in. I'm a patron. I'd double down.
It's just to be the riddle sphinx with like X's over the boobs.
It should be.
He draws a bra on it.
Yes. The bra sphinx.
The Wonder Sphinx.
The promo should be that you have to draw a nude piece of artwork.
Your idea was better. Your other idea was better.
Okay.
The custom made the Zuby with you cards with nude art of the three of us. That was a much better idea.
So this is going to be a massive promo. It's going to be massively expensive on the secondary. It is because it's Frazetta artwork, which is a huge deal, and it's the only Frazetta artwork that's in beta because they took all the rest of the Frazetta artwork. So this is the only. It's not really beta. It's not really beta because it's a promo card, but it's the only Frazetta artwork that's coming and launching with beta. So it's going to be massively successful, huge. Everyone's going to buy it. So here's my question to you. We've seen other games lean into promos, right? We've seen exclusive promos with Rudy. We've seen exclusive promos with a bunch of other Team Covenant. We've seen
Fireball, TCG Player,
Fireball with TCG Player with all these other companies to do it. What are your guys' thoughts on promos in indie TCGs, and do you think that they should continue to do them or not?
I think it shows a lack of confidence. Like you don't see like Lorcana having to do this. You don't see Magic having to do this. You don't see Pokemon having to do this. Like it means that they think they have to do something to move boxes at that quantity. And maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. That I don't know. But I know it comes across to me as like, especially as a story, it's like, well, like, so wait, I have to like charge the same price, but if they order from somebody else, they get the box and something unique. Why would they buy from my store?
Mm-hmm. So
like, what would the
that's
benefit
a big
be?
one. Yeah, you hit the nail on the head. There is
Always.
It kind of hurts, in my opinion. It hurts the ecosystem because it pulls some of that money from any local community to that source. But I don't know if I agree with the lack of confidence. And maybe that's just too harsh of a way to put it. I think it shows just how hard the indie TCG landscape is.
Sure.
You need the eyeballs that some of these companies or these creators put on your game.
100%.
And there's got to be that fear where when you lean on that community to an extent and that creator, that company just decides at a moment's notice, I'm going to drop you because it's not worth it to me. I don't have something special to go above and beyond. You lose a good amount of that faith. I mean, we've seen it before when people have dropped TCGs and a bunch of the community is like, oh, I'm also out because I follow this person. So it makes sense. It makes sense to me because the indie TCG world is hard. It also it does create problems. I get that, but I can see where the game companies are coming from by doing it.
Yeah, I think on a launch, it's almost required. Like I think if you are launching Sorcery, if you are launching a new TCG, you almost have to reach out to a content creator and be like, hey, let's do this. Or if a content creator likes the game or whatever, to work with them to get their audience a reason to buy in on it. I think on launch, it makes a lot of sense. I think where it gets really, really, really difficult is set 2, set 3, set 4. Especially when you have guaranteed allocation going to those stores and those creators where they don't have to play the same game that the LGS can play, and they can put up pre-orders for 6 months ahead of time, a year ahead of time before we even know the release date. And then you have people who are going to go to your local game store and want to play there, and they're like, well, I'm just going to go ahead and get a pre-order in, and then I also get this free promo, and so I'm going to order from this store, and it reduces the drive to other stores and to the physical storefront, which then in turn reduces that storefront from wanting to carry the game and carrying it in a exclusive way.
I will say, like, you can tell me this is different for Sorcery because, like, I guess, like, again, like I called this an experiment before. I'll call it that again. Like, I have no clue what set 2 looks like for Sorcery. I know the artwork now because we've covered that in detail.
Yeah,
but like I literally have no clue what the demand will be like for set 2. I suspect they don't either, to be honest, right? Like I would have no clue what they should print for set 2. I have no idea the crossover. I guess it is such a. I mean, it's going to be released 9 months from now, a year from now.
We have no clue. We don't even know that, but this is my point. Like, we don't know when it releases, and I'm sure Rudy knows how many boxes he's going to get, and we already see pre-orders up at, Team Covenant already has pre-orders because
For Arthurian Legends?
Yeah, they already have it up, and they don't have to worry about allocations. They don't have to worry about any of that stuff.
That doesn't feel great.
Yeah, and like as an LGS, like that sucks. Like,
that's kind of outside the realm of that's outside the realm of talking about promos now, right? Like that's different than just does a company get a promo to help push a box.
Well, and like the question is, are they those companies? I'm not just singling out Team Covenant.
Right.
In general, does the idea of that really help a game grow? And listen, this is coming from somebody who, of course, I would love that. Like, who wouldn't? What store wouldn't love the opportunity to get a promo or whatever? I understand the reasoning behind it, but I think there's a lot of short-sightedness in that world when you're competing with the online community.
Oh my God, it is.
Yeah.
So let me ask you a question then, Louis, and I think you're uniquely qualified to answer this as a sorcery content creator, as a store, but also as someone who has a vested interest in wanting to see the game succeed because you like it so much, like it's something you truly enjoy. Do you think you could achieve the same reach by doing something like a buy a box promo, where every approved retailer and your content creators, your Team Covenant, your Rudy's, not to single anybody, whoever is a content creator selling sorcery, all gets to sell the same card? I think, in my opinion, the risk there is you lose the support of somebody who wants something special. Not to say any of these people are those people, not to say they're demanding something special to push sorcery, but if it's all the same, you even that playing field a bit outside of the year early pre-orders that I think is abysmal. But you even the playing field with a single buy a box promo, you buy it from any of our sorcery approved partners, you get the same card.
And they have that. They're doing that with beta. They already have it. But
just that.
I don't think that any game companies should do promos. I think promos have been. I think we've seen in other games that promos become it's
a tool for leverage. It feels like,
but they become a miss long term because you have at some point you just have too many promos that you're not putting the focus on. Like, we've seen this in MetaZoo, right? Where like the base set stuff nobody cares about because they just want the limited promos. That's all they care about. A lot of times in all these games, not just MetaZoo, people are buying the kit from Rudy or buying the kit from whoever just to get the promo and
selling the boxes and
dumping the boxes on the open market, which kills the value of the boxes on the open market, which again turns around and kills the store. And now stores don't carry that game anymore because they know that they can't compete with a.
I think promos can be done right though.
Right, like, you get a chance at the sample card if you order from Team Covenant too. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
that's wild. You get a chance at the sample card.
Wow. And again, maybe it's different from Sorcery because we talked about Sorcery possibly being a game that can live outside the LGS. We've talked about that being something, but like I don't like the giving someone that much of an advantage.
So I don't like giving that much of an advantage, but I will say like I think Sorcery is
uniquely positioned.
I have no idea what Sorcery will look like in week 30. Right now everybody's all excited. We're all pumped for beta. We're all pumped for Louis' artwork that he hates because the poors deserve it. But like
more sharks,
right? Like I suspect we'll be a lot less excited in week 30. It's the way the world works.
Yeah,
in fairness, that's not a sorcerer critique.
No,
that's a TCG byproduct. That's how every card game works.
The TCG that matters, Magic. We're used to that cadence. Every 6 weeks, every 5 weeks, new something.
This week, 3 big reveals.
Right. I mean, like you're gonna have
massive.
You're gonna have 8 releases between now and Arthurian Legends, is my guess of Magic. So like.
But you are marketing to a crowd that doesn't like that.
So I don't.
But
or vocally claims they don't.
I don't worry about the people wanting it. I think that's its own question that I don't know. I legitimately don't know if customers really don't like that cadence. If so, I will say like there's no evidence of it. There's a lot of whining about that cadence on the internet. It doesn't seem to be affecting Watching's bottom line.
Yes,
sure.
So like, but like my question is like, well, how will a store feel on week 30 of Sorcery?
Right. That's fair. Yeah, because you're saying like, does this matter if those places exist and that's where everybody gets boxes? Does that matter? I think at the end of the day, it probably matters. Like if they want to be a game that is sold through distro, that matters. If they want to be a game that is just exclusive to Rudy patrons and Team Covenant subscribers and a Kickstarter, then it wouldn't matter. But they are saying they want to go and be through distro, which means that they have to, and they already have. Let me be very clear. Right now, the way it currently stands, there is demand at the distro level from stores because it's
Yes.
And I'll give them
my
credit.
question is
Like,
in
great margin.
three sets. In
Yeah.
3 sets,
That's
does
the
this kind of consistent advantage for for online retailers? Again, like I could be in the other side of this and I would still feel the same way. I think like if you want it at an LGS, I think it's rough. I don't know. It's a hard topic to talk about, to be honest.
Yeah, it's a rough one. It's a decision that I don't envy being in that seat, right? Because your number one goal is like grow your game, and you see these supporters and these companies and these various influencers that fall in love with your game or appear to, and they're like, we're gonna put you on this platform, and you're like, oh my god, that's everything I dreamed of. But now there's this pressure. You have to make them stand alone from something like gamegrove.gg, right? Why? Because Rudy's giving us to this massive audience. Whoever influencer A is giving us this massive audience. So you got to make that tough decision, and I don't envy that, because listen, I don't know what the right call is. I know from my perspective, looking at it, it's so easy for me to be like, no, make everyone equal, and then your game is in front of how many hundreds of thousands of less eyes, but everything is even. Like, so I don't know.
Well, I think the question is, would those creators make content about the game without having promos and allocations handed to them and that kind of thing? Like, that's the question. Would they do that? I don't know the answer to that for them.
No,
I know the answer to that for the other creators that are making stuff, and like that's where it makes it's really interesting. It's a really interesting thing. But what we have seen, in my opinion, in other games is that the long-term impact of that style of release and advantage for companies hurts the growth of the game at a local game store side. So I think that's definitely something for the team to think about and be considering. And listen, like I'm gonna buy a Rudy bundle. Like,
me too.
I'm gonna buy a Rudy bundle. Like that's not gonna stop me from participating.
It's also just not all sunshine and rainbows. And just to get my last thought on it, we've also seen what happens when a company that's entrusted to promote this and do right by it does wrong, and maybe takes a turn for the worse or makes some decisions that aren't great for the community, but they are the sole provider of some of these promos or some of this product, and it does massive damage to those communities too. So it can go both ways. There's a lot of risk, a lot of reward there.
Where's the Josh's right button that I gotta hit?
It's an interesting one. I don't know.
Welcome to May This Be with you, George.
I don't think it matters for beta release. Like I don't think that's something.
It never matters when the game is hot. It never matters when the game is hot. The question is like, listen, no game will be as hot as it is after its first release.
Right.
No.
It's just the way the world works.
Won't. Yeah.
Yep.
Except for the next topic. Continue.
We don't have time for this topic, I doubt.
Damn right, we better have time for this topic. Only topic anybody cares about, the GOAT.
All right, Lorcana
We already talked
Million.
about Magic.
All right, we ready for this? Here's my question for you guys.
Ready.
This has to be the fastest any game has ever gotten to 1 million games played, right?
Yes, with the caveat that it came out essentially simultaneously with a extremely well done and convenient digital client. Like,
well, that's not a caveat. But
most of these games don't come out with that.
Well, they can find better fans.
Can you guys give the warm up to people who don't know what we're talking about?
Lorcana, aka the GOAT, aka the greatest game ever made, aka Disney's GOAT. They have there's an online thingamabob that you can download the art on in a digital art pack. It's called Pixel Bond.
You're on the board of technology companies. How is this a thing in the world?
I'm good at this. And there's been 1 million games played on Pixelborn already. Just on Pixelborn. Not in LGS, nothing else.
Yes.
There's been 1 million games played. I mean, listen, that's impressive to me.
That's
2
not
months,
impressive.
1 million plays? That's crazy.
That's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's wild. I've said
All right,
before.
Louis, why is it bad news? Why is it so bad that a million games have been played? I'm waiting for it.
I mean, if a million games are played, that's awesome.
I don't think Louis takes
Like,
the.
you think this
hold
is
on, hold
also
on,
a
hold on, hold
conspiracy?
on. No. I don't think he takes the. It's not awesome. I think he takes the. It doesn't matter approach.
Wait, how does
Nope.
it not matter?
Way more cynical than that, Josh. Yeah, this is fair. This is fair.
Go ahead.
What, you think he's just lying?
Yes. Like there's zero. There's
He has a weekly update of the games
I
played.
trust that guy's Twitter as much as I trust what you say. On
He's
this
the designer
podcast.
of Pixelborn. It's the head of Pixelborn.
Of course, he wants it to say a million. He's the most like. Of course, he wants that. I don't know. Like, I hope a million games have been played. I don't have any evidence.
So you're saying. Let me get this straight. You're saying he's lying about gameplay print runs. He's grossly speculating, and we should ban him. Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, like I'm not saying that he's lying. I'm just saying that like
you're heavily insinuating that he's lying. Oh my god!
So okay, here's what,
Can this fill my screen here? You know what? Let's just cover my face.
Show me
Go
more.
ahead, Louis.
It's like how many users are on Twitter versus how many are bots.
Do you think there's Pixelborn bots?
There's Pixelborn bots just cranking out games.
A million seems crazy to me. That seems like a lot of games.
That's the point. That's the point.
How many users are there?
Do your research.
Oh my god!
I mean, like the guy's only got 1,000 Like I don't know. Like
he's a developer for a digital client. I don't know if you know this, Louis, but us software engineers, we're not super popular people. There's not a lot of race to follow us on Twitter. Just so you know.
All right, let's run with that. It's true.
I was going to get rid of the sign. I want to get rid of the sign. I do.
Let's run with it's true.
Let's run with it's true.
Let's run.
Man.
Let's assume.
So PSA lied about their data. This guy lies about his data. This is why I publicly post every sale listing if you want to go through them, so you know that it's there.
He does. I think.
I like how many games of Magic have been played in the last 2 months on Arena?
Way more. Way more.
That's the type of thing. Like I have no.
There's
clue.
There's 6 million plus daily active users according to that article when I started on the
a million
podcast.
Seems realistic. Then.
There is vastly more than 1 million games.
I have like no clue what's going on right now.
A million for Lorcana then seems realistic. If there's 6 million players of Arena every day, then in 2 months seeing 1 million games of Lorcana played, that makes sense. I'd believe that then.
Yeah, so I think this is probably the fastest that any game's reached 1 million games played.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like that's amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's
that's
amazing.
incredible.
Probably the only. I'm trying to think of like 1 million games, like registered games on.
Have other indie TCGs registered 1 million games at this point?
I will bet you not.
Yeah, they have. It's hard to like.
1 million's a lot, dude.
1 million's a lot of games.
A lot of games.
It's not the like if you have 15,000 players.
Like the access from digital clients helps.
That's the big thing. That's the big thing. The future's online.
Is when you can spam 4 or 5 games in a row.
If you have 15,000 players, that would be 66 registered games per player.
In 2 months, Louis. That's
No.
No.
He's answering my question about like a lot. I bet a lot of these other indie TCGs that we've talked about
I
haven't
bet you like a
registered
couple
1 million.
of it 1 million. It took them years to get there.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Like they did it in 2 months.
66 games
Again,
a person.
It's not an indie TCG. It's Disney's
So,
TCG.
Can I ask you a dumb question here, Louis? When you were fudding up the
you
game
do.
for the last 2 years, it's gonna fail, it's gonna flop, it's not gonna happen,
Mhm.
it's gonna
not
bomb,
what I said.
nobody's gonna want it. That's exactly what you said. It's exactly what you said. Everybody here knows it. Did you mean by that it will be the second best-selling TCG? Like, is that what being a flop meant to you? Because if so, like I misunderstood that. I guess.
Best-selling TCG.
I mean, yeah, it's probably not the second most printed TCG. I'll agree with that.
The second most selling. There's been 7,000 boxes sold on TCG Player.
It has not outsold Pokemon. It has not.
Yeah.
Don't
Yet.
get crazy.
Yet next set,
Don't
baby.
get crazy.
Next
But
set, they
it's
printed the
instantly
screen over
it
boxes,
snapped
so
it snapped its fingers and it's number 3. And I don't want somebody about One Piece is just crushed. Don't.
No?
no, this is number 3. Like, come
Do
on.
you run
let's
the
be,
One Piece numbers on TCG Player?
let's be realistic.
Do you
It's
run
this.
the TCG Player numbers for One Piece?
No, I don't.
You're the one that said 151 will outsell Lord of the Rings. Calm down, boo boo.
Yeah. Which it did better. It outsold Lorcana. Was it a third of Lord of the
say
Rings?
that One Piece has sold more boxes than Lorcana.
On a per set basis, you are out of your mind.
You're out of your mind.
On a per set, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
There's only been one Lorcana set, so I guess if you're comparing all of One Piece history, because it's on set what 7, 9.
There's a lot of One Piece. I'm trying to think now. Do I think there's been more One Piece games played than Lorcana? I don't think that. I don't think. I'm thinking out loud. You can't judge me for thinking out loud on the podcast. That's what I do.
You're perfect for the audience that watches podcasts like this, because people in the comment section are like, "Oh yeah, totally." Me and my 3 friends all play One Piece. We play like 3 games a week. Imagine what that looks like across the rest of the United States. Like, calm down. That's insane. That's an insane take.
One Piece games played than Lorcana.
Has there been more One Piece games played than MetaZoo?
Yes.
MetaZoo's been around longer.
And they have a new online client.
And the difference is nobody plays MetaZoo. So like,
Not true.
okay, George and that one guy that he knows online play MetaZoo.
I'm in. If you extrapolate that out across the rest of the world.
I applied for the beta.
Oh, slide in my DMs.
I applied for the beta. I have to see it for myself. I am a gold content creator. Gold medal content.
Which is amazing.
God, why did that anger so many people?
Wait, who did anger?
Everybody in my Discord.
Yeah.
Not me.
I thought you deserve it. Okay. You push back on me every time I fun at MetaZoo.
Let's not get crazy here.
Hold on, if we're talking about MetaZoo, I got to put the fun alert up for myself. So
that follows.
I think that the best part of this is that the community created an online client that's been so successful. That's the win. Like, I think if you want to, like, what I see from this is like there is a passionate community that's going to grow the game, and that's a huge win.
Go.
So.
It's the first good thing you ever said about Lorcana. I'm proud of it.
Online client has existed every time I've said Lorcana is crushing it. So that, passionate community that you're suddenly realizing is there.
Get it.
Been there the whole time.
God.
It's not new. It didn't snap into existence and have a million games.
I don't know. The number of games thing doesn't, that one doesn't excite me as much as like the ability to log in and play a game and have it happen quick that's impressive. Like the active user count, and like that's more impressive to me than the number of games played. But it's my opinion. I think because I don't know what to compare to. Like, I just don't know what to compare the million.
Well, I gave you Magic.
But Magic is not. It's not even in the same.
Well, they're in the same universe, which is impressive.
Yeah.
No other game.
You said 6 million active users a day on Magic.
Yeah. So you know how far we are from the sun? It's really far, but we can see it.
That's not
the rest of those games.
A million over 2 months.
Can't see the star. You're right. They're nowhere close, but they can see.
The game's been out for 2 months.
In comparison to any other TCG, it's closer.
There'd be 16,000 active users a day. If they play one game a day.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
We applaud some of these games for having 16,000 total players ever.
Because you have their peak to play against.
When they put up press statements that say, "Guess what? We finally got 16,000 people one time. Hooray us!" We're like, "That's amazing."
Yeah, there'd be 16,000 games. So it'd be 2 players per game. 16,000 times 2 is 28, 32. That's right.
Yeah, it'd be 32,000 if everybody plays one game a day. It'd be
there's been games that's been out for years and years and years.
I totally agree with you.
Players.
100% agree with you. 100% agree with you. It's cool. It's awesome.
In fact, there's probably is there any TCG outside of Magic and Pokemon and maybe Yu-Gi-Oh that has 32,000 players?
I don't think Yu-Gi-Oh has 32,000 players.
They have to.
Oh, they have the online client.
Yeah. They 100%.
This speaks to how important an online client is.
If you don't have an online client, you should fold up shop.
Yeah.
like the future is online. Like, I'm sorry, boomers, our day is done.
George, in 2023, the future is online.
The internet is no longer a fad. I'm willing to call it.
As he's on a podcast weekly.
I'm willing to call it. The internet is here to stay.
I think that's fair. I don't agree with your future take that like physical goes away. I don't believe that, but
that makes sense.
I agree that the online client is huge. I think all games should be working towards that. I agree.
Well, if not, you're working towards obsolescence, right? Like, this is like
not success.
Obsolescence.
Right? They're not working to being anything that's competing
matters.
with any. Yeah, I agree.
There's like beta that the pores deserve it.
You almost said it. Don't say it. Nobody competes with Magic and Pokemon.
I know, man. 1 million players over 2 months, or 1 million games in 2 months. I think they're turning into the next Magic together.
Yep. Is that your take? I've heard that on this channel a couple times.
Yeah. What's is there a Black Lotus of Lorcana? Is there a Black Lotus of Lorcana?
Yeah.
Nobody wants the Lotus anymore, dude.
That's true. I've heard.
Is there a stone
Lotus
of Lorcana?
Prices? I've been watching Lotus prices. They're going down.
Not as much as the Charizard. The Charizard.
It's worthless.
It's worthless. What is happening, Pokemon? What is happening? You've got to turn this around.
Dude, in rough seas, the game that you can play does better than the game that you can't.
These are the deals to be had. This is the time.
I will say it's getting closer.
I know, man. I look at the current state of the world and I don't say now is the time to start. I do buy, but I don't say that out loud that this is the time to start buying.
I'm excited. If Lotus prices keep going down, my goal gets more and more attainable. Dude, one day you're going to walk in, the shelf's going to be empty, and there's going to be one little card sitting on this shelf.
By far the most attainable it's been.
Yeah,
since I followed it.
You could buy a Lotus right now, Josh.
Yeah, 100%.
Like $8 to $9 grand.
Yeah,
for an MP unlimited Lotus.
Yeah, that's tough to explain to the significant other. We need to buy a new car. We need to buy a new car. What do we spend $9 grand on?
You're the fat cat that has 2 extra cars that you're working on in your garage right now. So.
Now, and when those get sold, that's what we call Lotus money, baby.
Even the beta cards have gone down a little bit.
A beta inked Lotus sold for like 16 grand.
That's wild.
CGC 8 inked beta Lotus sold for 16 grand this week.
Is the real move to time the finishing of the T-Bird and the Impala with the bottom of the trading card game market and just turn it into cardboard? Cars to cardboard. New YouTube
Alpha's
channel. I'm out. See you guys later. Cars to cardboard.
Down a little bit, I guess. I saw somebody an alpha listing.
Everything's down.
Especially my hype now.
Lorcana is going to be wild. So it seems like set 2 is going to come out before the restock of set 1.
Inaccurate.
That's what it seems like.
Like George,
I don't know why it seems like that to you. Is that's not like
the timeline of distro receiving set 2?
Why
the set 1 restock hasn't happened yet?
I guess that is true. It has not happened yet.
Listen,
so it was supposed to happen in September. It's supposed to happen by the end of September. Yes, it was, and then it was supposed to happen October 1st, and then it was supposed to happen early October.
It's supposed to happen in October.
All right,
the statement was early October, my friend. Yes, it was. That is a direct quote.
Do we get set 2 before set 1 restock, Josh? No.
But it's way closer than I would have predicted had you asked me a month and a half ago.
I got the faith.
Release day of set 2 is November 17th.
I learned that today from your screenshot, which I appreciated.
December 1st is retail release for set 2.
Yep.
November 17th. November 17th is LGS.
You nailed it.
This is great content.
I think we get restock for set 1 first. It's gonna be close though. I'm not going for it. I was seeing if you guys would go for it.
I'm going to say a bad take to see if you guys agree with my bad take. Then I'll pull the bazinga.
And then I'm going to rug pull you.
God, this is like Wilds of Eldraine all over again.
All right. Anything else to say?
Did you open a bunch of Brothers War before this podcast?
No, this is going to be a great one. This is going to be a great one. I'm going to get banned from Sorcery, everything George ever wanted.
Wait, hold on. I don't agree with it. You better not get banned from Sorcery.
I agree.
I've heard from other content creators that all you do is open boxes and have a goofy face.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, you do have a goofy face. I love you, buddy, but like, listen, we're not the prettiest bunch.
Only one of us is.
No, he didn't shave this week.
No,
The
it takes
Josh throws me for a
takes-
loop. I
it
cannot
takes
handle it.
I shaved once, guys.
I
I shaved
cannot
once.
handle it.
This is just how
But
slow
you
it
did
grows
the
in.
clean shave. You didn't do like the fake shave.
That's all I
Everyone,
got.
thank you for watching the podcast. Thank you for being here, listening. If you were on the listening side of this,
On the listening.
Did you apologize to a commenter last week?
With you.
Did you apologize to a commenter? The first comment, you're like, "I'm sorry we let you down." I'm pretty sure.
yeah, it was somebody. It's Screenwatcher 33. He's here at the shop.
You got to have some confidence in this podcast, man.
He's here at the shop, and I apologized to him in person too. he was like, great podcast today. I was like, were you listening to the same podcast that we recorded this week? Because sorry. Anyway, thank you guys for watching the podcast.
Can I ask you one request?
Oh
one
my
request. If you only listened on Spotify, would you log on to YouTube and just write down what art piece you thought was best before you watched that segment? Continue, Louis.
Like if you were listening to it?
Yeah.
Which did he describe best?
What
That's a
description
good
best
one.
suited your mood at the time?
The one with the boobs.
Absolutely. That's all it's going to get. We're all going to get. That's all it's going to be there.
Oh wait, can we talk about the word titty? Is that an offensive word?
I think it's a British word for kid.
Great. Is that true?
I think so.
I
I'll
took my
Google it.
titties out to
I
the
can't
party.
Google it.
boobies.
I don't want to giggle it. I don't want to Google it. All right, everyone. That seems like the not right thing to Google.
Especially not with the screen share up.
Have a great
I'm
day,
in.
everyone. Be kind to the people around you. Thank you for watching the podcast. Subscribe. Hit the like button. Go subscribe to Josh's channel at Hometown TCG.
Member.
Go look up George on Google. I don't know. He's probably on LinkedIn.
I'm not on LinkedIn. I used to have LinkedIn, but then too many people messaged me, so I stopped my LinkedIn.
Have a great day. Be kind to the people around you. May the zoo be with you.
And also with you, Louis.
Also with you.